Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little AI grok action there.
So good. How we're all dancing.
All right, man.
To be fair, I feel like that would be the worst. To me, that would be the worst hangout of all time. If it was me, you, Michelle Obama,
Right.
Tucker Carlson,
Yeah, man.
Donald Trump, and Epstein, all of us like out to dinner, I would just kill myself. I don't want to hang out with any one of those people.
Great call. First of all three-letter agencies represented at that dinner. That's what's amazing. You got the feds, you got CIA. We would be the patsies in that whole dinner.
I feel like we're there to get set up.
They're setting us up, man.
One of them's getting assassinated.
Now, Mike, just briefly touch this gun handle for us while we're here. Don't even think about it.
Like, no! You put your fork and knife down, and then a guy just comes and grabs them, puts them in a bag.
The waiter snipping some follicles of hair off the back of your neck while you're looking at the menu.
You're fucked. Dude. You're not coming out of there alive. You know, get out of here. Those are some of the worst people on earth, and I'm including Trump in there.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that whole table would just be everybody trying to talk about themselves.
Great call. Is there a more narcissism than in that one round table?
That whole group. It's the one thing they all agree on is they're the greatest person in the world.
Right. No, actually, we're missing Alex Jones from this group right here, right? You throw Alex Jones in there, they all think they're the greatest human.
That's the problem. That's the reason Epstein and Trump didn't get along. Too narcissistic.
Yes.
Psychopaths hate other psychopaths because they can't take advantage of them.
Great call, man. Yeah, absolutely. If you're a strong-minded, sociopathic individual, power-hungry, you need weak individuals around you so you can dominate them and take advantage, right?
I mean, look at Trump. He surrounds himself with like beta males who think they're alphas.
Yeah, I've noticed this trend on the right. The left is catching up, but this has been going on for a while now. Dudes on the right proving or proclaiming to the world they are an alpha male. I believe the rule for alpha maledom, and I'm saying this as a 3/4 Subaru driver, so I'm nowhere near the territory of anything that even starts with the word alpha. Like nothing in my life is alpha. All right, let me throw this out there.
You trying to prove that you're not an alpha is the most alpha trait you can have.
Potentially, I don't know. I have no idea.
Real alphas don't need to prove they're alpha.
As an outsider looking into the home of alpha, I've always noticed that the alpha males never have the need to proclaim their alpha maleness, right? They're never out there declaring to the world they are alpha males. No, they're doing alpha male stuff. They're so busy, wrapped up in being an alpha male. There's no time to have to tell other lesser males, I'm the alpha male. We're all seeing you be the alpha. Yeah, right. We're not worthy, my man. Right?
Look at Elon Musk. He's like the most nerdy, soft, pudgy guy. You know what I mean? Alpha male. Never tells you he's an alpha male. He just goes on being a nerd and geeky and everything, but top dog.
What about self-proclaimed alpha male, bald fella, Tatum, whatever his name
Andrew
is?
Tate. Yeah.
Andrew Tate, that's it. See, he's so alpha, I can't even say his name right. That's how memorable he is.
Fuck that guy.
He posts
He's a con
stuff.
artist.
I definitely think he's a con artist. He had a video, it was trending not too long ago, and it was him living the dream in his penthouse suite, smoking a cigar, drinking an espresso, and maybe hitting a hookah, I can't remember. And then he put out a video how the most depressing moment in your life when you're a successful alpha male is the moment where you realize you have it all and you simply cannot buy anything else. You've got the yacht and the Bentley, and as Mike slowly strokes himself. Yeah, that's right.
Dude. Okay. You know, I lost this guy he lost me way long ago when he first came out, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Right.
When he first started making the rounds. And he was smoking the cigar. He's like, look at my Bugatti. And then he's walking around and he's like, I'm in my mansion. I'm going to jump in my pool. And then I find out that mansion and that pool is in Bulgaria.
Right. What? Romania also.
Romania.
Yeah.
I could buy a mansion in Romania. Dude, I'm a union plumber. I make way more than half of Romania. I could buy Romania. A plumber in America is like a king in Romania.
Well, I would argue that's alpha male thought processing right there, where he realized, I need to sell this image. I can't afford it. So I'm going to go to a place where I can afford this image. Romania, where the rest of us aren't thinking like, I want to look alpha male and be macho and manly. So I'm going to move to Romania so I can have a mansion and buy a bunch of underage whores and have them dance around me on videos.
Literally buys or like traffics women, forces them onto OnlyFans.
Look how good that worked out for Jeffrey Epstein, my man. I mean, he. Wait, what's that? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, maybe it was a bad example.
I'm sure he had a good run though. I mean, Epstein lived the life. Terrible ending, rough ending,
rough end, but
we're all gonna die. I mean,
yeah, that's right. I mean, sex trafficker, weapons dealer, right? This guy lived quite the lifestyle. So yeah, ultimately you would expect that to end in a jail cell somewhere where you hang yourself in a room where you're not able to hang yourself.
Exactly when the cameras turn off. Yeah. Until 3 years later when they find the video that they weren't off.
Yeah, and then you send out Kash Patel to sweat it on the... No, he killed himself. We didn't see anything.
There are no files on Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, man. We're living in great times right now. The Epstein era. I'm calling it. Have you been following any of this, Mike? I feel like it's the only thing going on these days.
Dude, I cannot... I'm losing my mind over this Epstein thing. First of all, obviously Donald Trump and him were friends. We know they were friends. I don't need emails to prove they were friends. Right? Oh, you mean two rich guys who loved women were hanging out together in the 80s? Oh my God. Oh my God. No way. Of course they were. Right? So did Bill Clinton. So did all these guys. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
We all know it's there, right? And then the fact that you Democrats released these emails and messages that proved Democrat senators were texting Jeffrey Epstein during his testimony to Congress.
Actually, I'm under the impression Epstein was texting these Democratic senators and feeding them information to question. This was during the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or
I don't care. You guys were colluding with Epstein.
Right. The Epstein thing is a two-way street. It's left and right. They're both involved here. And
remember that time when you guys were in charge and you didn't release it? Then the Trump took over and then he didn't release it, and then you guys took control again and still didn't release it. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein's first arrest was like in 2008.
Right. And the argument for the Epstein thing not being handled during Biden is that they were dealing with the Ghislaine Maxwell case, and so they couldn't really release the information. That's what they're claiming. But it's kind of interesting that we never heard a peep out of anybody about Epstein or
nobody even cared. Nobody cared. Like nobody was asking for it.
And 5 seconds ago, the one lone witness and survivor who testified and basically brought down Ghislaine, brought down Epstein, and has basically taken down Prince Andrew. Yeah. That poor gal, Virginia Giuffre, she survived being hit by a bus and then killed herself because, who doesn't decide to kill themselves after they're hit by a bus, right? That's just the logical next step in survival.
Plus, a lot of people have mentioned the fact that, like, if there was something in the files, the Democrats would have released it when they were in charge. And my whole argument has been, not only would they have released, they changed the law in New York to go after him for a made-up rape case.
Right. Great call.
They found a way, a loophole to arrest him for 90-something felonies for shit that nobody's ever been arrested for. You don't think they would have went after him legally for raping a girl on Jeffrey Epstein's island?
Dude, absolutely. And not just the island. I mean, We're talking in Manhattan at his penthouse super hotel.
Where you changed the law to go after him for the E. Jean Carroll rape. Why wouldn't you also go after the child rape? That's what...
I got you.
Excuse me?
So your logic here on the left, this is your logic here. We have verifiable proof that Donald Trump fucked an underage girl in the 90s, right?
Great call.
And then we have absolutely no evidence that he raped this 30-year-old, 40-year-old woman in a dressing room on a day she can't remember, year she can't remember. No evidence.
Yes.
So we're going to go after him for this seemingly fake rape case and not even touch the one that we have verifiable evidence on.
Allegedly.
Underage.
Right. Allegedly.
What are you fucking talking about?
What's interesting about all this, they released some emails and everybody got really excited about it on the left, except they didn't really do any digging. And one of the emails, they blocked out the name and wrote victim.
So funny.
And the name of that victim was Virginia Giuffre, who worked at Mar-a-Lago and then complained about what was going on with Epstein. And then Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago.
And she testified that he didn't do anything.
Right.
That she never saw him do anything. He was there. I mean, it's insane, dude. You Democrats are fools. And you guys were corroborating with him during the testimony.
I know.
Frank, what world are we living in? And then that's all we can talk about on the news now? Come on.
But why does it get buried completely that Trump is a known FBI informant in this whole situation? And it's basically been established he's the one who told on Epstein to the feds.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically claiming Trump is the reason Epstein got arrested in the first place, which is why Epstein was shit-talking Trump and all the emails he was sending out after that.
I love that. They can't believe that. I love all the people who are like, Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile, and he said Donald Trump is the worst person in the world. I can't believe you're taking the side of the pedophile.
Well, yeah.
You're not you guys just got done crying over Dick Cheney, Darth Vader himself, and now you're on the side with Epstein. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm just not on the side with pedophiles and Dick Cheneys.
Well, no, they're claiming if you're a Trump supporter, you're on team pedophile now, which is kind of insane. I mean, there's zero proof that Trump was doing anything with underage girls. You know, if it does come out that he was, I think along with Clinton and everybody else where there's verifiable proof they were hanging around with young ladies, let's take them all down, right? It doesn't matter what letters in front of your name. You should be hauled away to jail if you were messing around Epstein Island. It's a thick read, and it's kind of tough to get through.
Oof.
But I highly recommend the Nation Under Blackmail, both volumes, but Volume 2 digs into the Epstein saga quite a bit. And there's a lot of information. Trump is in here, but there's a whole section dedicated to Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew.
Sure.
Right? An entire chapter, it's just Clinton and Prince Andrew, which should just spell it all out for you right there.
It's not Clinton's fault the band needed a sax player. You know, he was just there to play the sax, you know?
But what's interesting about Epstein, and nobody ever talks about, they're very interested in the island and the underage girls. And now, I guess, apparently, Megyn Kelly in a lot of hot water, kind of defending 15-year-old girls as far as being maybe perfectly okay. You know, in some states, that's Mike, right? Yeah, you can marry your sister, right?
You're a pedophile, right? You're a pedophile. Although one of the things that came out of this, I didn't know this. Apparently, I think it's California. It's like if you're 24, you can date a 14-year-old. There's like a 10-year grace period.
For sure, it's California. I'm sure in Colorado you can marry a 9-year-old if you prove they had some sort of like a transgender surgery or something like that. You know, they got a loophole for that here in Colorado, guaranteed, man.
You guys have progressed yourselves back into Sharia law.
No, dude, that's where the left is going with Ma'am Danny, and they're going full socialist in Seattle. I mean, they're fusing socialism and Islam at this point. They're going to embrace Sharia law, and this is, I'm telling you, man, they've been hedging this way for a long time. Every time they add a new stripe or a new color to the pride flag and all this stuff, dude, they want the minor attracted persons in their group, dude. You've been seeing it. The slippery slope slides one way, people, and
With
it's
the
heading
drag queen story hour.
Yeah, dude. This whole time it's been hedging towards the pedophilia, man. They want it, dude. So come on. Megyn Kelly, I mean, kind of weird that she's like, hey, it's not too bad. They're hanging out 15-year-olds. You're practically childbearing age.
I was sucking off guys at Fox since I was 12.
No. But what's really fascinating about Epstein and his history with both sides is the left really excited about releasing these files when they don't really do any digging or just a little bit of reading into this hunky chunker right here, where there's an entire section dedicated to what Epstein was up to in the early aughts. He was a fundamental backer and creator of two foundations you may have heard of at some point in your life: the Clinton Foundation and the Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation. Yeah, Bill and Melinda Gates. Yeah.
Now it's just Bill.
Bill Gates. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to pronounce it there.
Then
I got caught
Bill
up.
And Melinda, but
tongue-tied on the Bill Gates Foundation, which means you'll get disconnected from us here any moment.
Can't wait.
But it seems to get forgotten quite a bit. Bill Gates Foundation, Clinton Foundation, they relied heavily on Epstein starting those foundations in the early 2000s. That's why Clinton has 17 to 24 separate logs on the Lolita Express. He did do some controversial flights with the Lolita Express, stopping off in various locations where there's some questionable logs on the flight, books where, there's some names where you could argue potentially you got some trafficking going on and what have you, but none of that with Trump. All I'm trying to say, there's no Trump organization with Epstein behind it, right? They always trash the Trump organization, but zero tie-in with Epstein. This is a Clinton and Gates situation here. So it is funny, though, that we're in this moment. People are claiming this is completely destroying the MAGA movement. And this may be the defining moment of Trump's administration, this and his obsession with Israel. But I thought this was kind of funny. We've been kind of hitting on this for a while now, but we have the Trump administration responses to Epstein timeline, which I find this to be very funny. Mike, you remember, right? Bondi?
Yeah.
Oh, it's sitting on my desk right now. It's on my desk. I got a whole folder, man, right? And then remember they brought out the influencers, the MAGA influencers.
Oh, that's right. They had the binders.
They came out with the binders.
So stupid.
And then, of course, that was nonsense. And then they released a joint statement saying that there is no evidence. There is no list.
Bongino.
Yeah, there's no list, man. We have no list. And then Bondi was pushing back, saying they did a great job and everybody needs to relax. And then Macy and Ro Khanna, remember, they started to push for the Epstein release back in July.
Right.
And they said, okay, we're going to hold off. And, of course, Maxwell got the interview. Remember, they went in and interviewed Maxwell, and we're going to get a bunch of juicy info.
That's right. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing
she
happened.
Ended up with a better cell.
She got a better location. She was transferred then in August to Florida, right? And then, of course, September, that's when the Oversight Committee released that huge PDF file, and we got the birthday card.
Oh, that's right, the birthday card. Did you fools not learn your lesson from Russiagate? Come on. This is Russiagate. They're going to string you along for 4 years.
And, of course, we're here now, November 12th. The Democrat Oversight Committee released the emails, 20,000 emails, where now they're getting very excited about Trump being involved with Epstein. And still a bunch of nothing burgers, in my opinion. But I got a little clip. I thought we could go down, do a nice little dig into this whole Epstein saga as it is right now. And we probably do have to, only because I mean, what are we doing here? This is all anyone's talking about, man. And we got the animal himself, man. Dave Muir.
Looking old these days, man.
I know. It's those booster shots, man. They really start to kill the cells within you after a while.
People.
Dave Muir here. He's going to give us a brief lowdown and run through on this current Epstein saga sweeping MAGA world and destroying the movement.
Ray Bruce leading us off.
Tonight, amid new questions about President Trump's 10-year friendship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, Trump now trying to shift the focus to Democrats. In an extraordinarily rare move, a president going on social media and publicly ordering his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and the FBI to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with several prominent Democrats.
So this has been my argument for a while, which is, and we all love the 4D chess, right? Maybe Trump has been roping them along this whole time. And then right when we edge into 2026, heading into the midterms, Trump's like, actually, you know what? Release the files. Let's see what's going on there. And it's just chock full of Democrats.
Yeah, and then 25% of Congress resigns.
Well, dude, this could really affect mostly neocons and neolibs. So, you know, the Lindsey Grahams of the world and company, maybe Trump needs to kind of drain the swamp a little bit, right? Both sides. So here we go. Unleash the hounds in 2026. You guys asked for it. Here we go, baby.
Including former President Bill Clinton, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, and, quote, many other people and institutions. Within hours, Bondi, with a public response, will do, appointing U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton of New York's Southern District to lead the probe, saying the department will pursue this with urgency and integrity. This despite the fact that earlier this year, Bondi herself closed the books on the Epstein case, insisting there's no there, saying we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
Look, with the Epstein files, they're on my desk, but then there are no files. But wait, there were files. They were fake files created by Clinton.
I forgot about the fake files.
Yeah, they're fake. They're fake files, but don't worry, we're going to release them anyways, right? Yeah, we're only going to release the files with the Democrats' names on them.
Oh, and then what's that? Oh, yeah, no, we're going to reopen an investigation. Turns out there was more.
Yeah, wait. You know those files we told you were fake, but they didn't exist? Turns out they exist, and they're not fake.
And there's more of them.
There's more.
Dude, this is Russiagate. It's literally Russiagate.
We're in a banana republic, people. I don't think you realize this. It's a uniparty, and they're all guilty of something, and they're all compromised on all levels. And when it comes to exposing those that are compromised, the news will just go round and round and round and round and round.
Roping you along for 4 years until the next guy comes around. Right, and there'll be another controversy.
Yes, man. I mean, it was spelled out very clearly in the Crossfire Hurricane allegations with that one rogue FBI counterintelligence agency, the guy who's interviewed on Adam Carolla's show. What happened there?
You still got a small screen.
Oh, I stopped sharing.
Production crew.
How we doing now?
It's still the same.
How do you mean?
Blank screen, but like me and you are small on the left.
Wow.
Uh-oh. There she is.
Oh, are we back to normal now?
No, now you're sharing.
Yeah. What we got the screen up there though? Yeah, all right. That works for me.
We're good.
We'll continue down this road. But either way, the Crossfire Hurricane, man, that was how they work this with the Uniparty. They had a bribe on Hillary Clinton so they could control that puppet during her 8 years, or they had the Russiagate so they could control whatever Republican was in power there.
Good call.
Tonight, top Democrats calling Trump panicked.
Is it coming through all right?
Yeah, but you know what? That's one thing. It is funny because Hillary Clinton took the bribe.
Right.
So, like, they literally had to make up something for the Republicans.
Yeah, the Democrats are always dirty. I think that's kind of
so corrupt.
Yeah, you're guaranteed corruption.
They actually had something legitimately that she did it. Trump wasn't actually a Russian
I
asset. You don't get what I'm saying, though?
Yes.
It's insane.
But doesn't that open your eyes to why Biden was such a valuable asset to put into power in 2020?
Oh, absolutely. It makes sense why you're watching these primaries. And all anybody can talk about is how evil the straight old white man is. You're watching their primaries, and then all of a sudden it's Joe Biden is the candidate. What just happened?
Because
how did that even happen?
On that stage, he was the filthiest politician. He had 40 years of corruption to just fucking control him for 8 years.
His son was in Ukraine during the debate.
He was filling up his third hard drive on his third laptop of incriminating photographs of him smoking crack with underage prostitutes, man.
His dad's up there sweating, and you know what I mean? The CIA's watching him just walk into another computer fixing place.
We got him. Make him the president.
You break, I fix, and Hunter's walking in. Come on.
Oh, it's so obvious.
Corrupt.
Yeah.
And desperate, saying he's trying to deflect from serious new questions we have about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Donald Trump's name himself is in a lot of those Epstein files, as we've seen, and a lot of those emails. The question is, will Donald Trump be investigated as part of this? Or is there going to be one set of rules for Donald Trump's friends?
Let me ask you something here. What's this guy's name? It doesn't matter.
Expert guy, number 2.
Every day I get at least one video of California where it's like, this is Bangladesh after the Civil War. Just kidding. This is California.
Yeah. Yes.
You're a representative of California, one of the most failing, the worst failing states in the union. Maybe do something about your fucking state instead of worrying about the Epstein files.
Yeah, it's always like, this is the slums of Venezuela. Just kidding. It's Skid Row in LA,
it's
right?
LA.
Or
yeah,
just a side street in Philly. Yeah, it's either LA or Philly.
Well, I saw one the other day that was they're filming a new zombie movie. Just kidding. This is Oakland. It's insane.
Hey, it's the same thing here in Denver. It's really sad, actually.
Another set for his critics.
Clinton traveled on Epstein's plane on multiple occasions after his presidency, but says he was unaware of Epstein's crimes and never visited Epstein's private island.
Same guy who didn't inhale, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't that the argument
He
there?
didn't inhale. He didn't get the blowjob until he did get the blowjob. And then he was very sorry. Come on.
Is it a full blowjob if you jizz on the dress? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're, if you're pulling out, maybe it doesn't count.
To be fair, the cigar did most of the penetrating. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I would give him a pass.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Yeah, that's.
I can't believe you had that. That only comes from one of the most corrupt politicians to ever live. What the definition of it is.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that, man. Genius.
The former
The
president
90s were a great time.
Yeah, it was
everybody.
It was the apex of American culture in all regards.
You think that's the peak of America? We've been
Forever.
on the out. Yeah.
Well,
we're headed towards collapse now, but
yeah,
we're slow.
We're in a massive downward spiral, and the further we go down, the more we look back and finally miss the 90s. I got to say, I was reading an article, and did we go blank, or are we back to normal here?
It's black.
Totally black?
Well, the box that you're sharing is black, but we're still small on the left.
How about now?
No change.
How about now?
Oh man, this guy lost it. Oh no.
Still nothing?
No, you're still sharing a black screen.
Let me go to here real quick. Back to there. How we looking now?
Talked about the Melinda Gates Foundation. I mean, we are. There's no way they're letting us go back to normal.
What are you seeing? Are we? It looks normal to me, actually.
Oh, maybe I got to refresh.
Because it looks completely normal on my side, actually.
My thing's not even refreshing.
Yeah, and you mirrored back as well. I think you're going through some sort of time warp here. Did you?
No, I didn't mirror back. I'm still the same.
All right, I might have to refresh to be fresh on this one. This could be catastrophic on all regards. Oh, there he goes. All right, and it's just me. We accidentally threw out the Bill Gates very early. Almost never do we do Bill Gates in the first 15 minutes, but we broke our rules, our Bill Gates rule here.
Oh,
and
man. Damn it.
And
Hello.
we're still. Hey, yeah. No?
Hello? You hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I see you. I hear you. Am I touching you? Are you touching me?
No, I just don't. I'm not recording. So.
Oh, hit the record, my man.
No, it's not recorded. It won't let me know. That's just what happens. I don't know how or why.
What if you closed it out and went back in?
What?
Right?
The GarageBand?
The program, yeah.
No, it won't save the first half.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know why it doesn't when I refresh, but then sometimes, I don't know.
Something's linked up.
Something's going on here.
Well, are you able to still see me, and are we rocking and rolling here on the screen?
Yeah, the screen's good.
And then what if I go back to sharing? I share there. And
full screen share.
We're back to normal there?
No, now we're on the side and you're sharing the clip.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you could see everything. And then what if I go here? Can you see
us now? Oh, there we
go.
Yeah, now we're back to normal. Now I'm recording.
You're recording too, huh? Wow. All right, man.
Rocking and rolling.
Do we got Billy Boy there? Is he still can you see Billy Boy?
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Yeah. The worst part is he had that written down. Like he read that off of a teleprompter. You know what I mean?
Right. I thought that was wasn't that when he was being interrogated in court or something?
Oh, is that what that was? I thought that was when he was doing the famous Pepsi thing. You know, remember he kept showing the Pepsi?
Well, I think it was famous because he kept showing the Pepsi.
Yeah, that is the interrogation. Oh, maybe he wasn't reading it. Oh, you might be right. Yeah.
No, that's Bill shooting from the hip, man. That's on fire, just all cylinders, nailing it, man.
You think this is the first time I've been caught? Come on. This man's professional.
Do you know we've talked about it, his illegitimate black son, man. I mean, he's been doing this for a long time.
That's true, yeah. A lot of stories about old Bill.
Should we finish this off, this whole Epstein nonsense?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do just a little bit more now that Mike's still with us, and we'll see how long it lasts.
Accused of any wrongdoing. Tonight, even some Republicans frustrated with Trump's new demand.
I don't think it's appropriate for him to do it. I would ask him not to do that because all it does is taint our legal system.
It comes 2 days after the House Oversight Committee.
Oh, that guy went to the island.
That's what it's so funny, dude. Do these people not understand that? I think we've gotten enough out of this, but my whole point with this whole Epstein thing is if you're not openly calling to release the Epstein information, you're in the files. You're on the list. You were at the island.
They have a video of you fucking an underage girl. 100%. That guy for sure. You saw how much he was sweating? He was sweating more than a whore in church over there, dude. I think this is terrible for our brand. Not for me. I'm looking out for the brand of the Republicans. Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude.
No, you're owned. You're controlled. You know, you're probably under the control of some foreign intelligence agency that will go unnamed.
Yes. I want to see that guy's phone records because the minute this got released, he was calling his lawyer. How tight is that prenup? Do I have to give away half of my foundation like Bill? Or
right, yeah. Oh man, so funny, dude. It's on both sides, and this will only shake out one way. And I guarantee, whenever we get some sort of Epstein list or information, everyone's gonna be disappointed by this release. Man, I hate to break it to you. If you're Republican,
release
Democrat,
everything because then they lose their power.
Exactly.
If they release all the files, then they can no longer blackmail these politicians.
Well, this is at the heart of the current civil war going on in the right. I guess now there's a new split in MAGA, and you have MAGA and MEGA. Have you heard this
What's
new?
MEGA? No.
Well, it's an I instead of an A, and you can imagine it's Make Israel Great Again.
I was gonna say that's why it's MEGA, because you can't
exactly
can't go MEGA, you know?
It's a little too on the nose, right? A little too close. A little too close. So
you know what I love about these people like the Pod Save Bros who are talking about this right-wing civil war?
right.
It doesn't matter what these people on the right disagree with. Nothing's gonna make them vote for Jasmine Crockett. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, according to AOC, she's being stopped on the street by MAGA dudes.
how many dudes? Plus, in what streets? In New York?
Yeah, I guess
Come
so. In the Bronx, right? Isn't that where she represents and walks around? Yeah, so
get out of here, OC.
she's claiming MAGA fellas, MAGA bros are coming up to her and saying, "Hey, we're all in on socialists now. We're big on the Democrat socialist movement, man." Because
And then as soon as they realize she's married, they're like, "Never mind." I was just trying to get your number. Guys will say anything.
That's true. I mean, she's got them big old titties. That's what I think they're all about.
Getting bigger. She's getting bigger. Jesus Christ.
It's what happens with the Latino gals. Watch out, fellas. They're, frisky and exciting when they're young, but then they pop out a few kids and they're 300 pounds. That's what you
do
get.
not age well. Yeah.
No, but this is all stemming from that Tucker interview with Nick Fuentes. Everybody's claiming Tucker now has opened the door for Nick Fuentes to be mainstream and to be accepted, and he kind of softened up the guy's image. And I don't know, I thought everybody was really pissed at Tucker over this, and then sure enough, within maybe less than a week, the guy who brought on this white supremacist anti-Semite really crossed a line by bringing on Dane Wigington to talk about chemtrails. Apparently, that was
too far, my friend. I used to like him when he was just interviewing Nazis. Then he had the climate change guy on.
Talking about chemtrails, man. The reaction to Tucker doing chemtrails was mind-blowing. It's all you need to know that there is a serious DARPA deep what is it? It's like not deep sea, deep cover. What am I looking for? Deep state. It's deep state that's behind.
And there's a lot of people making money on this scam.
There's billions of dollars behind it, right? And so Tucker Carlson crossed a line that no one had imagined he would cross. He went full on chemtrails and geoengineering, and now that's the line. He's crossed a serious line with that one.
Too far, my friend.
Too far, Mike.
Too far.
The Fuentes thing is hilarious to me, though, in this whole civil war, because it seems ridiculous and totally kind of manufactured and created for social media alone. Like, if you're not on social media, do you even know any of this crap is going on, really?
You don't even know who Fuentes is. I didn't even know who Nick Fuentes was. This guy's a nobody, man.
Did you watch their interview? They had a moment where they both laughingly joked how they each thought the other one was a Fed.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well,
oh, man.
That's pretty hilarious, but what I think the underlying joke there that they were secretly behind was they know they're not feds. They both work for the CIA, actually. It's not the FBI. The joke is they work for the CIA. That's the joke.
Yeah, it's got to be. Nick Fuentes, and all you people that are mad at Tucker for interviewing him, well, ABC, NBC, CBS, none of these, MSNBC, Fox News, none of these people had to talk about that interview. It was just a stupid podcast that got released. You guys are the ones that put it on national news.
They want to bring Fuentes to this pedestal because they need this straw man, racist Nazi guy to be the face of MAGA.
I know. They want him to be the face of MAGA so bad, which is crazy because then they're also trying to deny that Zoran Mandami is the face of the left.
Right.
But Zoran Mandami actually is the face of the left.
Yes.
Nobody cares about Nick Fuentes except a couple faggots that can't get laid in their mom's basement. You know what I mean?
Well,
I would love to know the ratio of Nick Fuentes fans that also predominantly eat Easy Mac.
Oh, yeah. All right, man.
I guarantee you.
Well, Nick Fuentes put out this clip earlier this week about how he's officially proclaiming the end of MAGA. This is 2025 is the death of MAGA. And Trump put out a tweet yesterday where he denounced MTG, and he's going after now Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's going to primary her allegedly, and
it's not going to work.
They're lumping MTG and Massey and Tucker and Fuentes in this group of this new version of MAGA, the real America First, I think is what they're going for. So it's going to be now the right is going to be splintered after Trump. And isn't this something we all should have seen coming, really, with MAGA? What is MAGA, man? I mean, it's Trump. So MAGA lives and dies with Trump. Who's coming after Trump and is going to be selling those red hats? Nobody. Dude. Nobody. So MAGA, no matter what, dies in 3 years when Trump is out of office. That's it. There's nobody taking up the MAGA mantle. So there's going to be a new group that kind of takes over the right, and I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the battle for 3 years from now for who will be kind of this ship that the Republicans are going to ride on, and the split is MIGA, which I think is a terrible name. They got to come up with something else. MIGA to me it reminds me of something to do with like Trendalagua or like some sort of Latino hip hop band that Gen Z is really into that I've never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, something, Tres Migas or something. You know, so like they got to come up with something a little bit better than MIGA. But I do think you're going to see this America First thing really take off. Nick Fuentes is in on it and with it. It's his podcast. I think it's called America First. But I'm down with MTG and Thomas Massey.
Taylor Greene, yeah.
These are regular Americans who honestly don't buy into the whole Israel lobby, which is probably why they will be taken out on some way, either physically or politically. I can only assume something bad will happen to them.
Well, they already kind of took her out reputationally because everybody just remembers Jewish space laser, which she never even said, which is hilarious.
And Thomas Massey, I mean, tragically lost his wife a few years ago. It makes you wonder, him being so vocally opposed to accepting the Israel lobby, maybe something was going on there. Who knows, right? You never know with these sneaky Mossad fellas, but...
Careful.
Yeah, that's right. But we are, I think 2028 is shaping out to be this kind of whoever wins in the splits of these parties. You got MIGA versus America First on one side, and then on the left, man, you got the neo-libs versus the socialist libs. I think the socialists are going to win out on the left side, man.
It's where they're going, man.
Yeah, man. And I honestly think the America First section is going to win out on the right. I think that's unfortunately what's going to happen for people like our favorite Ted Cruz and you know, Lady G, the old school neocon Republicans. I think the time has come and America First is taken over. So it's going to be a really fascinating 2028. It's going to be America First against socialists. It's like nationalism versus socialism. Probably going to get violent is all I'm going to say. That's the only way that usually turns out.
It's not going to get less violent, that's for sure.
Oh, man.
Can't wait to see the next assassin who tries to take out Trump.
Absolutely.
Man,
or the next Trump, right?
Did that, I don't like Tucker, but, you know, him going on that rabbit hole of Thomas Crooks, when you just hear everything get put together, it's insane that they're trying to sell the story of this kid. I didn't even know that they had these anti-drone things, but it went down for 2 hours, and in those 2 hours is when Thomas Crooks flew his drone over the area
for 11 minutes. A miraculous, coincidental 11 minutes. They were not patrolling for drones, and he flew his drone over. And
it was only 11 minutes? I thought it was like 2 hours.
No, it was an 11-minute exact time frame window. That is just beyond coincidence. And on top of it,
it just so happened the people who run that program also ran the cameras that were watching Epstein's show. It's a coincidence.
Also, they decided not to have patrol on the roof that had easy access and perfect line of sight.
It was the only roof. Only roof they decided to not have anybody on.
Thomas Crooks ended up on a watch list for local police at the event. He was red flagged, and then nobody watched him after they red flagged him, which is totally nuts. There's too many coincidences around this whole thing, and then his home was professionally scrubbed.
He was scrubbed from the internet, all social media.
Yes, which is the clip I took, and it's a pretty interesting segment of the entire 30-minute or so rundown and deep dive on Thomas Crooks. It's Who is Thomas Crooks by Tucker Carlson. We generally like to roll with a no-tuck rule on this show, but this is a pretty interesting story, something that seems to evade legacy media, and most people just try to pretend like it didn't exist or happen.
We're so worried about Epstein. Who's got time to worry about the CIA trying to take out the fucking president?
Well, dude, this story, especially with this nice, concise rundown from Tucker over 30 minutes, really spells out the fact that it's got to be, I'd say, undeniable. There's some element of MK Ultra and mind manipulation going on with this kid.
Yeah.
The clip I snagged here is where Tucker actually goes into the scrubbing of his online history, what he was doing online, how he was very pro-Trump and anti-immigrant, and then seemingly during the pandemic, just on a dime, flipped and became anti-Trump, pro-liberal identity politics. It's a very strange kind of switch on as far as his online persona, but he ended up engaging with what turned out to be a mysterious online presence or entity that nobody knows who it was, but this person or thing really kind of pushed him in a certain direction. I'm really big on the
turns out it was Ray Epps.
It was Ray Epps all along. We're going to the Capitol. We're going to storm the Capitol.
Just trying to live a peaceful life on this farm, Frank.
Thomas Crooks is a mystery I think we'll continue to never have any actual answers to. We'll never know anything about him. He was cremated within 10 days before anyone could do any subsequent secondary autopsies on him. They didn't save any of his spinal juices and brain matter for future analysis. So there's a lot of super mysterious things that occurred after he died, the scrubbing of his identity, his home, and his body being one of them. And just the fact that he had such easy access to the rooftop, the fact that we know very little about why security was non-existent. And here's we'll do a little dance on this. This was Thomas Crooks's online presence post-scrubbing.
These remarks were...
And I think that was a little bit high on my side. I'm going to maybe juice that down a little here.
Are especially notable because they came at the final phase of Crooks's YouTube commenting. At that point, a new character emerged into the conversation, a user named Willie Tepes, who started pressuring Crooks to commit violence. For example, quote, "If a gun and a badge is all that is needed, then authority obviously comes from the barrel of a gun. We have more guns than they do. There is no way we can avoid a war at this point, so you better just get used to the idea. We have nothing to lose and everything to win. And the alternative, a global police state, is unacceptable. Nothing in life is simple, but that is no argument against doing it." So who is this Willie Tepes? Unfortunately, we don't know. The FBI hasn't made any mention of him in public, although they certainly know he exists. Just days after the shooting, somebody screenshotted Tepes' YouTube account page, despite the fact he had very few followers. To the extent that he can be traced online now, you can find his username being used on a foreign Antifa website. Those sites link him to the...
Excuse me?
Wait. So, first of all, I always thought Antifa was an American thing. Foreign Antifa? Okay, this is...
I thought Antifa didn't exist. Remember they tried Remember they tried to play that for about a week and nobody bought it?
I totally
remember.
I love when their lies just disappear because they were so bad no one wants to repeat them anymore.
You literally had guys out there who's like, what did you say? Antifa? Antifa? I've never even heard of this. What is this?
How do you even spell that foreign phrase I've never heard of?
It's so, how stupid do they think we are is the question.
What's crazy is this online fella, Willie Tepes, who's clearly a 3-letter agency handler for this Thomas Crooks kid, in association with the Nordic resistance movement. Like, who the fuck are you people dealing with? Like, it's fucking crazy. These groups, these anarchist groups that you've never even heard of, are somehow involved with this teenager in the middle in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Wow, when you put it that way, man, Jesus.
There's only one way this connection is happening, dude. This is 3-letter agency, man. That's right.
Oh, sorry.
What's Bill Gates up to right now? What's he doing? This is like, to me, this is how MK Ultra, and I'm just using MK Ultra as a kind of placeholder for manipulating online users, losers, and solo fellas on there, probably addicted to porn and gambling, and don't have a lot of prospects, and just are craving attention and identity. And so I think it's very easy for the 3-letter agencies to tap into these fellas and steer them down a pathway where they get radicalized, and they start engaging with the Nordic resistance movement online and international Antifa stuff. Like, there's only one way to get involved with that, it's got to be the MK Ultra, right?
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, introduce frequency technologies, 5G manipulations. Which
I don't even think you need that. I think it's the drugs. Was he the one that was like meeting? He was shooting at a shooting range
that the TDS and the FBI were also firing at.
Come on, dude.
Just a coincidence. Same thing as the coincidence with the drones.
It's too many coincidences.
I know, dude. But it's crazy. You do like a little digging. Tucker Carlson does a little digging, and all of a sudden we're talking Nordic resistance movement. Dude. Come on. But think about the second shooter just a couple weeks later was running guns and weaponry out of Ukraine.
I know.
What is going on here, man?
A broke loser's living in his parents' house.
Right.
Insane.
Totally nuts.
The Nordic resistance movement, which has been designated a terrorist group by the U.S. State Department. That's all we know. We do know, however, that Crooks's online footprint abruptly ends after his encounter with this mysterious figure, Willie Tepes. Regardless of whoever Willie Tepes is or was and what his motives may have been, who he may have been working for.
The worst part is
there's no doubt
you could have blamed like the media, like CNN or Fox News when he was working there, but this asshole's editing this shit himself. Like the serious look, the cut to a different angle. Like,
what about the Tucker look? I love the Tucker look.
The fucking
sweater, scrunches the brow.
Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. How much do you love yourself? Jesus Christ.
Dude, the reason I'm playing this Tucker clip too also is because, wow, people hate Tucker Carlson right now. Like, everybody's calling him a Nazi and blaming him for the Civil War on the right and all this stuff. And the chemtrails, they hate him for giving a platform for chemtrails and all that stuff. So what's my rule, Mike? If everybody hates him, I love him. So I'm putting Tucker's on the shelf. He's there with Kanye now. He's hanging with Kanye. Everybody hates you. I love you,
I
guy.
like Kanye more than Tucker. Come on, I'll take 10 Kanyes over a Tucker.
But you know what? We have a theme here. Both Nazis, Mike. I don't know what's going on.
Both Nazis. Yeah.
Have you been noticing this theme though? Whenever legacy media and all of the public hate someone, they end up being a Nazi. That seems to be a common theme, right?
Out that Crooks was ripe for recruitment by someone. From early 2019 to mid-2020, as his political views were evolving, Crooks searched for Trump more than 700 times online. He also searched for Jack Ruby.
Not crazy. Emma told me this story about the last time she was visiting home, and she was on the couch in the morning, and her mom got up and sat down next to her and pulled out her tablet and opened up Google just Google. She opened up the main Google thing with the search bar, and she typed in Donald Trump and hit search. And Emma's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm just searching Donald Trump." Like, that's she wakes up because that's what people do, I guess, on the left, dude.
Why?
Because they want to, Mike, it's a routine. You wake up, you do your stretches, your breathing exercises, you pour your cup of coffee, and you do your 10 minutes of rage and hate over Donald Trump, right? You got to get your rage out, man. So you just type in Donald Trump. Dude.
I mean, how many times did you Google Joe Biden?
Never once. I run a podcast and I never even typed in. I mean, I
Hunter
Biden,
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, way more interesting than Biden, dude.
Who, gotta give him credit, bringing back the Canadian tuxedo. You see him on that he did that podcast. He's wearing the jeans on jeans, man. That's the Jay Leno,
Hunter is on a roll right now because, and we covered this on the last podcast he did where he proclaimed that smoking crack probably safer than drinking alcohol. He's the only one legitimately pardoned, so he can go out there and say whatever the hell he wants. He's untethered, man. He's unleashed. He's admitting everything, man. He's like, what? Ashley's diary? Totally true, bro. What are we doing?
Frank, it was on his first laptop.
Yeah, I'm loving this, man. Pardoned Hunter is the best Hunter because he knows he's the only one with the actual pardon. You notice everybody else really kind of walking on broken glass and watching their moves and what they're saying. Not Hunter, dude.
He's walking in there without a care in the world. His Canadian tuxedo, talking about how his dad kicked Donald Trump's ass. Come on.
Bag of cocaine on the White House floor? It was me, actually.
You didn't find the other one because the dog ate it. That's why he bit the Secret Service agents.
Yeah.
The man who assassinated Lee Harvey Oswald. He then submitted queries for craziest chemical reactions, cars running over protesters, best places for mass shooting El Paso.
I think this was just an FBI agent at his house looking up all the next false flags they're going to do for the following year. Like, did he just talk about everything that happened on New Year's Day? I think that was everything that happened on New Year's Day right there.
This is insane. And you always have to, when you listen to him talk about Thomas Crooks, you have to remember, we spent millions of dollars on the Jan 6 committee.
Yes.
We have spent no money on investigating Thomas Crooks trying to kill President Trump.
You just blew my mind. We've never even had a committee on this assassination attempt.
Committee? There's not even an investigation, Frank. It's not like this is something as serious as January 6th.
That's right. The greatest tragedy to hit our U.S. Capitol since the Civil War, if I'm not mistaken.
Frank, it was the first attack on the Capitol since the 1800s. Come on.
That's right, you're actually completely blowing my mind. 2 assassination attempts in less than a month, 0 committees, $0 spent.
No investigation.
And if you watch this whole rundown from Tucker, he goes in depth on how both FBIs, Biden's and Trump's, have completely stymied any attempt to actually do any kind of investigation on Thomas Crooks or Ryan Ruth, the second shooter.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a bipartisan attempt by the FBI to stop anyone from investigating what happened with the Trump assassination.
Nothing to see here, folks.
I know, but you know what's weird is this actually lends a little more credence to the Trump plotting the assassination attempt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, purposely having the frumpy fat chicks as his security agents there, right? Maybe having a thing of blood in his palm, like splashing out of the ear, and then doing the fight thing. Like, I could, and then, hey, no, don't investigate anything here, right? So I could see a little bit of that going on.
I feel bad for the dad that died.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody forgets about that guy.
There were actual people that died in this situation. And no, when it comes to the assassination attempt on Trump versus, let's say, the assassination attempt on Charlie Kirk, it's just a very clear as day example of DEI versus Mossad, right? I think that's what, that's the difference you're seeing there.
Yeah. Oh, they hit their target. Mossad hits that target.
You know, they hire the best based on their performances, not the color of their skin or.
So, Trump civil war, Orlando shooting reaction, firing an AR-15 as fast as possible, fertilizer bomb, how to make
Again, I'm thinking this is just an FBI agent just searching all the future false flags that they're going to unleash on America.
napalm, how to make a Molotov cocktail, mass shooting Canada, Oklahoma bombing, and
just okay, fine. Just throw in the child porn and call it a day. All right, you've covered everything already. Are you kidding me?
sniper in Dallas shooting. He also searched for American Nazi Party, German national anthem, 1933-1945, Hitler's speeches with subtitles.
Turns out that was actually a Kanye song. The German national.
This was Kanye's laptop, actually.
That Heil Hitler song was.
What a banger, man. Will we always look back on the summer 2025 as the summer of Heil Hitler? It was
it's my anthem of the summer, dude.
It was a Hitler boy summer, dude. That's what it was.
Great time to be a Nazi. Fuentes was getting interviewed. Kanye was selling swastika shirts.
The height of the neo-Nazi world was in 2025, man. That was good times. Good times.
Great year to be alive.
Nazis and, quote, why gays need to go.
All right, so now, Tucker, you want to keep rolling on this? I find this to be fascinating.
Yeah, sure.
Do another minute or so here.
So here you have...
And we're doing the FBI cover-up here.
Have a volatile, troubled, possibly mentally ill young man with a long record of espousing violence in public. The FBI clearly knew he existed. And then you have, at the very end of his years commenting in public, espousing violence, an exchange with a mysterious figure affiliated with a group that we know is being monitored by the U.S. State Department.
So, yeah, turns out these terrorist organizations were in real time being monitored by the FBI and the CIA and the NSA. And so that means that they were in real time monitoring his interactions with these groups. And so it means prior to the assassination attempt in July of last year, they knew exactly what this kid was planning, what he was doing. He was doing target practice at the same shooting facility, shooting range that the DHS and FBI were shooting at. I mean, come on, man. And then, conveniently, let's just stop checking for drones for the 11 minutes that this would-be assassin is going to fly his drone to, scope out the scene.
Too many coincidences. Same thing with 9/11. I'll give you 3. But once we're at 4 or 5, double-digit coincidence, no.
Yeah, man.
Dude, no, this is set up.
False flag, man. It reeks of false flag. It has since day one. And same thing goes with the Charlie Kirk situation. We're going to find out a year or two from now that as time rolls on, the Tyler Robinson kid that is in jail had less and less to actually do with the shooting. And dude, I can't get over this fact that they're still going on the story that this kid shot Charlie Kirk and then disassembled the rifle, jumped down from the roof, reassembled the rifle. It's one of those things where...
Although he's still alive. That's the one thing for me is like, maybe the story's true.
Yes.
If they don't kill him, you always kill the assassin.
You kill the patsy.
You have to.
You have to kill the patsy.
Gotta kill the patsy. I mean, that's day one stuff.
Right. Yeah, good call, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still... The Charlie Kirk thing is really funny because you still have people like Candace Owens like really riding high on this massive conspiracy involving everyone. And I think we're at the point now where Erica Kirk, the widow now, was behind it all with Mossad. And, it just keeps piling up. And it's getting it's getting too extraordinary to have to kill a guy who... Was he politically that important? I don't know, because here we are now. Would we be experiencing this MAGA civil war if Charlie Kirk were still around? Would Nick Fuentes be having his moment if Charlie Kirk were still there?
The same shit. It'd be the same shit. The Charlie Kirk, I believe more that guy just saw too many clips online and thought he was actually doing a good thing killing him.
The left have lost their minds. They're completely loony at this point with the violence and politics and
there's nobody more violent than the trans people.
Absolutely.
Like the people who support the trans movement and all that. And this guy was in
Trantifa.
love with a trans. Yeah, Trantifa. That's so true. I mean, that guy was in love with a tranny.
That's right, man.
So.
Yeah. Great call.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, I got you on that one. I understand.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Yeah.
I'll clarify.
Come on, people. Don't worry. We don't want to.
We're modern men here.
We don't want to offend anyone here. Well, Mike, I can't believe I'm saying it. Holy cow. Did we even touch the docket, man? What did we talk about, man? Too much Epstein. I'm never doing Epstein ever again. It consumes too much of our time, man. That's the point. The distraction of our generation is the Jeffrey Epstein list. I want to thank everybody for hanging out, enjoying the good times, great oldies. We are at that magical point where we're going to take a quick break. We got DJ Rodfather here lining up a jam for us. I can only imagine it's something groovy he has heard this week on XRT.
No, I got to go to another song because it's really funny because I talk so much shit about the Beatles, and then every time I hit shuffle, I apparently have like half my library is Beatles or John McCarthy.
Well, Paul McCarthy, but McCartney. Yeah, I can't even say it.
There, you know what I mean? Come on.
We got so much more to talk about in the next hour, half the docket at least. We'll be back on the flip side. DJ Rodfather here with something with not the Beatles.
A long time, not the Beatles. I haven't heard this one in a long time.
All right, man, digging deep into the well. Yeah, all right.
Jack Johnson, man, bring
excellent.
That mood up.
Of his own past, he stabbed a moment in the back with the brown thumbtack that held up the list of things he gotta do. It's really no good. He's moving on before he understood. He shot the future in the foot with every step it took. From the places that he did, cause he forgot to look. Better staple it together and call it bad weather. 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 Well, I guess you could say that he don't even know where to begin. Cause he looked both ways, but he was so afraid. Digging deeper to the ditch every chance he missed and the mess he made. Cause hate is such a strong word, and every brick he laid, a mistake they say, that his walls are getting taller, his world is getting smaller. Better staple it together and call it bad weather. 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 It's really too bad. He became a prisoner of his own past. He stabbed a moment in the back with the brown thumbtack that held up the list of things he gotta do. It's really no good. He's moving on before he understood. He shot the future in the foot with every step it took. From the places that it did, cause he forgot to look. You better staple it together and call it bad weather. 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 If the weather gets better, we should get together. Spend a little time and we can do whatever. And if we get together, we'll be twice as clever. So staple it together and call it bad weather.
Oh, yeah, man. All right. Stapling it together. Call it bad weather or chemtrailed weather. I've been getting a lot of that here in Colorado. Man, they unleashed right even before the shutdown was declared over, they were just blasting us with chemtrails and geoengineering and everything else in between, man. It's been wild here, but we're surviving. We got 70 degrees though, so I think we're getting blasted with some sort of super sun so they can make it super cold somewhere else. How's it in Chicago? You guys got the winter happening?
Beautiful weather. I did get hit on Monday with do we talk about this? No. We got hit with the snow on Monday.
Yeah, I think maybe. I can't remember. You did mention on the last show you guys had your first snowstorm.
No,
and then
but that was Sunday, and then Monday I woke up. I had 18 inches of snow. I could.
Oh wow, man! Yeah, we did discuss the bike lanes getting covered up, which is very hilarious.
Very hilarious. But Chicago didn't get hit that bad. But dude, they're using this excuse with the migrants getting deported for literally anything now. They didn't plow our fucking parking lot, so I couldn't get out. I couldn't go to work. What excuse did I get? Well, we had a guy, but because of ICE.
No,
dude, not even because of ICE. We couldn't even. He doesn't even want to leave his house.
Wow, afraid to leave this, but that's where they'll find you. At your house,
the first place I would look.
Yeah, you should be out on the job site, moving around. You got a chance to escape, right? You want to be out there, not found.
But all the excuses, man, it's so stupid.
They're really been out of shape over this whole ICE thing. It's been very surprising to me. We discussed it not too long ago. The white, fat suburban ladies throwing themselves in front of ICE vehicles and trying to disturb the arrests and. Seeing all
even I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh yeah,
but there was a priest that did it.
Wow!
And they just arrested the priest, and of all people, this morning Nona brought it up and couldn't stop laughing. She was hysterically laughing about the priest getting arrested for trying to stop ICE. Our grandma's an immigrant.
Yeah, I think we should always preface our parents are immigrants. Everybody should understand that we are first generation, so we're intimately connected to the immigration of this country. And
so her laughing and she's a Christian,
right?
She goes to church every week.
Yeah, more than anyone I know, actually. Yeah.
So a priest getting arrested, and she's laughing at him. Like, she's like, Mike, what is wrong with these people?
Well, they've lost their minds over this whole migrant situation. The power of the propaganda is constantly blowing my mind. They're all about supporting people who aren't Americans, people who don't pay their taxes, who don't pay into the system. They siphon from the system and take away from us. And here we're constantly jacking up the taxes because we have to pay for the migrant stuff that we're paying for. And why is this the hill Democrats now believe that they're willing to actually potentially die on? Throwing yourself in front of a moving vehicle is a scenario where you could die.
You get seriously
so
hurt.
What?
Yeah.
Where did this brain rot come from in these people? I'm super shocked by it. And then this seems to be the topic du jour there in Chicago and in Illinois. Every time I see anything with ICE, it's almost always people losing their minds in Chicago. And it's all this incredible footage. It's almost like you're watching the beginning scenes of Saving Private Ryan, but it's a bunch of fat suburban people like running after ICE, and there's like smoke bombs and flashbangs going off, and people are screaming, and it's a really chaotic and insane looking scene. But why Chicago specifically is my question. I'm not seeing this in Denver, and we got a lot of migrants, man. And Mike, I gotta say, I saw one for the first time. Venezuelan restaurant, bro.
Oh, hey, maybe they're just opening them up. It takes a long time to get permits in these blue cities.
That's right. Especially here in Denver, you got to be following the Green Initiative protocols, and you got to make sure half your staff is a tranny, and then
how many Venezuelan trannies are there?
Very little, very few. Yeah, so
can't afford the surgery.
That's right.
Yeah, dude, I heard the alt. I couldn't find the clip online because it was like just the local news in the morning.
Right.
But it was this lady who's like, I forgot what she runs, some place that they like house these migrant families.
Sure.
And
like an alternative low income housing unit of some sort.
Oh, I think it's just free. It's paid for by the government. And
Jeez.
yeah, you talk about. And she literally said, because of all the deportations and everything going on, and these Latinos being afraid to leave their house, because of that, there's so many job openings that they've had to raise the price or the wages for the people taking those jobs. And all I could think is, yeah, okay, well, aren't you guys for the working man and higher? I thought you guys were all about higher wages for blue collar,
Right.
and low wage people, whatever. And then she goes, and those higher wages are gonna have to. They're gonna force these owners to raise the prices of their goods. Did I not just listen to you guys for 20 years talk about raising the minimum wage to $20 an hour and how there's no way Franklin's not going to raise the price of your cheeseburger? These millionaires are going to have to eat the cost.
Oh, no. Here in Denver, restaurants are shutting down. They're not being replaced. And in fact, down by where the Union Station is, used to be a major hub, now no longer. They're not replacing these formerly occupied restaurant locations. And nobody wants to come in because you have to abide by the retarded green energy policies Jared Polis is forcing everyone to follow by 2027. And then on top of that, on top of transforming this kitchen built 10 years ago into being green certified so that way it doesn't emit CO2 and all this crap,
Right.
you know, you're going to drop tens of thousands of dollars on redoing these systems.
On
Then-
scrubbers and
everything, dude. But
Yeah.
then you got to pay your staff $18 an hour.
plus maternity leave,
Maternity leave.
40 hours paid vacation every
Exactly,
year.
dude. So
Get
it's
outta here.
why
and you're
bother?
selling cheeseburgers.
Exactly.
You know what I
No,
mean?
but then you open up finally and nobody's coming in because they're writing negative reviews on your Google website review site because who's going to pay $20 for the cheeseburger? Or this
Right.
is absolutely outrageously expensive. We're not going to pay that. And you need to charge that to be in that location, plus pay minimum wage, $18 an hour. That's what I don't think people
crazy.
get is your new hires are getting the $18 an hour. That means the veterans there got to be making 20, 21.
Yeah,
Your
the
manager's
managers.
making 24, 25.
No,
I
dude,
mean,
managers at these fast food places are making 60 to 80.
oh,
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
impossible, dude. Impossible to keep up
You
with
ever
that.
watch that show, Financial Audit?
I have not seen this.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch these poor people go on there, and he just yells at them for their bad spending habits, and like, you know what I mean? Because people go on there, you don't realize how bad we are with money. But these people come onto the show, and they're like, they make $4,000 a month, they're spending $6,000, and they're $200,000 in debt, and you're like, and they're 28 years old. Like, what is going on? You know?
Well, that car payment probably could be eliminated.
Bro, there's
Almost
always
always-
an insane car payment.
Always, dude. It's always a fucking
And
car.
it's like young dudes, so it's not only the car payment, their insurance is $700 a month.
Yeah,
for
man.
the stupid car.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the show just like wanting to slap these guys. It's so crazy.
It's like, it seems to be a theme with a lot of fellas in the 20s and 30s. Maybe it is a part of that midlife crisis, and I tapped into it a couple episodes back, where if you're living and you can't ever afford a home, you might as well just go buy the car of your dreams because you're never going to get the home of your dreams. So maybe that's where these guys are going. But dude, how are people affording these car payments and the insurance? They're not. They're probably going bankrupt because of it. And Americans got to get back to the idea, like, buy a used car until you can genuinely afford getting that
Until
new
you
one.
make it.
Yeah,
dude. But that's what I'm saying. These guys are all a lot of them are like managers at fast food restaurants like Whataburger or like even McDonald's or stuff. And like, he always says that's what you should do if you're down on your luck. Go start. Listen, and I agree with him 100%. If you just show up every day and do your job at like a McDonald's or something, they're gonna make you a manager. Same thing with a gas station. Go get a job at a gas station, and if you're actually worth it, they'll make you a manager within a year. Like, that's
maybe. I mean, I became a manager where I worked at within 3 months because What did I do special and extra? I showed up every day.
Showed up,
I
and you
just
weren't an
showed
idiot.
up,
You just
dude.
weren't a complete
Yes,
idiot, and you
man.
tried a little bit. You know what I mean? You just, I don't know. But
Showing
that's the
up.
thing is those guys all make 60 to 80,000. So
Crazy.
that's why I don't even want to hear about it. Like with these food stamps and the benefits, the welfare, dude, it is too easy in America to at least make $50,000 a year and take care of yourself. Don't go have 6 kids.
Right. And lay off the 6-figure car for a little bit, right?
And you can't afford the car, though. That's the other thing.
You know, if you're working at fast food restaurants, maybe the Alfa Romeo is a little bit outside your pay grade there, right? Like, hold off on the Alfa Romeo.
Let me tell you this right now. You can't afford a brand new car. Any car. You can't afford a brand new Corolla. Go get a used car that's 3 years old. That's all you know?
And I've been harping on this for a while now as someone who has one of these new cars. Avoid the new cars at all costs. The whole car is designed to not let you go forward. That's how cars are designed now. They are stopping your forward progression and momentum. That's how they work. So avoid new cars. Avoid anything built after President Obama. Right? He ruined the car market.
That's a good call.
So anything built after Obama, you want to avoid, and you need to give Trump and the new EPA like another year or two before they start pumping out all their cars without that retarded shutoff valve that my car has.
Oh,
the kill switch on the engine for no reason.
If you spend $50,000 on a car that has the auto start stop, we need to sterilize you.
Right.
You're too dumb to have children.
Yes.
What is wrong with you people?
In fact, you can't have your license anymore. We're gonna take away your license for a couple of years.
Because I don't even blame the car companies. Same thing with the reason why these trucks are all $50,000. You can't be mad at the car company. I'm mad at all you assholes that keep buying this shitty product for this overinflated price. Stop buying it.
The auto kill is just the most mind-blowing addition to cars. It never made any logical sense.
No.
And the fact that they tried to pull a 180 and people are like, no, it's good for your engine for it to constantly shut off and start back up. Like, it's good for the engine. Like, no, that's never good for the engine.
You don't have to know anything about mechanics.
No,
this is not good.
It's never good to shut something off and restart it constantly, ever, for anything. Nothing ever. Nothing.
You wouldn't do it to your microwave.
Nothing, man. Nothing works like that. But it's funny that we have all these problems, and you are right on the money. People are blaming it on migrants or ICE, not the migrants. They're blaming it on us cracking down on migrants.
Right.
That's where we're at fault
problem.
here. And then you sent me a message, and you're like, dude, you got to look into this ICE raid that happened in Chicago about a month ago.
We talked about it with the Apache helicopter.
Yes, dude.
The guys roping down. They handcuffed kids. Yeah, this is a crazy. This thing. This was directed by Michael Bay because it has taken the craziest turn. Not Michael Bay. Who's the guy that did Sixth Sense?
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah. I don't know how I confused those two.
I don't know if this is the story you were talking about. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's where they had the kids in zip ties and they arrested everybody in the building, basically?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how they're doing it in Chicago.
I spoke to one woman who actually lives in this building, and she says she was detained by ICE agents overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday.
Look at all those cops, man.
They ain't fucking around.
They got the full force there.
Night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me did I have any warrants, and I told them no, I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen-At video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was
screaming. Yeah, this wasn't the one.
Very
Oh, it's not?
But this is crazy. That's crazy,
right.
too.
I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out, too. Had them zip tied to each other. That's all I kept asking. Where's the morality? Where's the human?
But you see what they're doing, right? Anyway, there was another one. I think it might have not even been in Chicago. It might have been Berwyn.
All right.
But we talked about it on the show where they had the Apache helicopters and guys were rappelling down and they zip tied, and it was all these migrants, right? So then the story took a crazy change because it turned out that the reason they were there was because a resident placed an anonymous call.
Oh, damn. All right.
It said that there were these Venezuelan gangs who had taken over the building.
Right.
And they were recruiting the children. And it was like, okay, well, now I don't know whose side I'm really on. Maybe ICE did a good thing because it was an anonymous call. This lady was worried about her kids and the other kids in the building. So, all right, so we'll give it. At first, it was a loss for ICE because of the Apache helicopters. You know what I mean? Then it turned into a win. And then it turned into, guess it was the landlord who placed the anonymous call, not a resident. And the landlord just wanted these people kicked out so he could renovate the building.
Wow, yes.
So now I'm not mad at ICE. I'm not mad at the residents. Really, the landlord's just a piece of shit who took advantage of the situation.
Interesting. All right.
But I mean, the thing is, the media right away, they did all these long stories on how ICE were the worst people in the world. How could they? How dare they? They came in with a helicopter, right? It's not their fault they got this call. And it turned out there actually was gang members living in the building.
We had that issue here in Aurora. I mean, there were full-on apartment buildings completely taken over by Tren de Agua. I mean, it was like a gang-run apartment building. What are you supposed to do, man? You gotta raid it and get them out, man. That's the only way.
And then the landlord was apparently said that he had to do it because the laws in Illinois made it impossible for him to evict them.
Wow.
So his hands were tied. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes.
Like, who's the bad guy in the story, right?
Yes.
I don't even know who to be mad at. Somebody I didn't like the situation. Like, I don't like what happened.
Right.
But who's really ultimately the bad guy?
This whole immigration thing is funny because a lot of us, yes, we did vote for this, but it is a little bit extreme and beyond what we were, I think, anticipating. This militaristic style raiding, and basically we're casting a net and we're sweeping everyone in that net, and then you'll have to prove your innocence outside of it. It's a little inhumane. And,
but it's what has to be done to undo what was done. That's what our whole argument from the beginning
Absolutely.
was. Listen, I wish more than anybody that Biden would have just closed the border.
That's it.
And then we wouldn't be in this mess.
Absolutely.
Now, innocent people are going to get caught up.
Right. That's the only way you can. I mean, you let all these drug dealers, rapists, hey, some, I assume, were good people, right? I can assume, but you let them flood through the border. All we can do is cast the huge net, sweep everyone back, and then you can come back through, but you got to do it the right way. You got to do it the legal way, man. And it's just, it's an intense thing to watch unfold. But again, I think this is one of them 95-5 issues now with the whole immigration thing. Like, that's why it's so weird seeing the videos of the fat Karens throwing themselves in front of the ICE vehicles. In my mind, I don't know, I'll joke about it at work, and everyone's kind of relieved and happy to no longer have to shoo away the squeegee boys from Venezuela at Santa Fe and Alameda.
I don't even think it's that they were there. I don't think anybody really has a problem with the migrants. It's that you guys were spending so much money on giving them everything.
Well, you were giving them debit cards with $10,000. They were able to buy free food and get free healthcare.
Healthcare. They were living better than regular Americans.
And now you're raising our taxes to pay for all that stuff you did over the last 4 years. So
that's why
I'm very happy about it.
That's why nobody wants it.
It's how the economy works, man.
It was a crazy raid, though. I don't know who to be mad. I don't know who to be mad at. It's.
I think you have to blame Joe Biden's administration for this, and
for
you
letting
can't.
him in.
Unfortunately, you can't blame Joe Biden. He was complete mush brain, had no idea what was going on.
Pen.
It's the auto pen, and whoever was controlling the auto pen, Jill Biden, Hunter Biden, and that random group of 13 or so people. So Yeah, it was the Biden administration. That's who you blame for this. If it's upsetting for you people out there to see the ICE raids and the kids in zip ties and all that stuff, well, it's Joe Biden's fault.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately.
But good news is crime is down in Chicago. Now that you see all the army of agents walking around.
Nice.
So,
excellent, man.
Call that a win.
Absolutely. I call that a win. And in general, I think Tom Homan, RFK Jr., the Maha stuff, we're still getting wins with the MAGA movement, even though they want you to believe there's a civil war and Trump's whole administration is a failure. I think there's some major victories going on, and it's improving our lives on a daily basis, right?
We'll see. I don't know. A lot of shit talk on the left about the Maha movement and how they haven't really come through on the big promises. Like, they're still giving the mRNA boosters.
True, right?
You know?
But they're not forcing it. We don't live in a time of mandates, which is nice.
That's
and
very nice. But
you know, they're allowing parents to make informed decisions about what they're injecting in their kids. Now you're not being both peer pressured and then medically pressured by your doctors to inject your newborn child with 157 vaccines. Right? Now they're like, well, if you want, you can hold off on a few of these poisons for 6 months. So that I think that's a positive on some level.
Nice, that's some good. But as far as like the food, you're right. I mean, you gotta. These guys are right. What we got? Steak and Shake and
right.
You know what I mean?
That's about
really and Skittles. Like,
yeah,
right,
well, it's a slow roll. We're still only 10 months in, so I think we can all agree if there's been one definitive positive of the MAGA movement and what we've experienced over the last 10 months is the trolling online. There's
fantastic.
nothing that matches the online trolling game of the MAGA movement and of this White House. And the best troll of the year has got to be Trump dumping the poop on Harry Sisson at the No Kings protest, because nobody talks about the No Kings protest anymore, but we're still talking about the memes of the No Kings protest.
Did you see the J.D. Vance, Gavin Newsom thing?
I may have seen
Newsom posted a video of J.D. Vance. They do that character of him with
That's
like
right.
the funny hair.
Yeah,
and, like,
man.
He's fat.
Oh yeah.
And he was riding a couch in the sky.
I did see this, yes, and it dropped the poop on Gavin Newsom.
No. Gavin Newsom posted the first video where he was flying, and then the rebuttal was J.D. Vance posted the one where he drops the poop on Newsom.
Yeah.
And then Harry Sisson pops up at the end.
Oh, burn! That explains then this podcast with 3 ladies on it, where Harry, being one of the 3 ladies, is complaining of J.D. Vance. And I find this to be the highlight right now of the world we're living in.
I love how he dressed up as that character for Halloween.
It's the funniest thing ever. Absolutely.
Such a good troll.
Absolutely, man. I love the trolling game. It's on fire. And the best part is Harry Sisson, he's in his 20s. This kid's got to learn how to roll with the punches and with the jokes, man. I mean, you're an online personality guy, so there's going to be some memes of people pooping on you. That's how it works, man.
And the minute you cry about it,
right.
now you're just they're not going to stop now.
No, dude, they broke this poor kid with the poop meme. They broke him. They literally broke him. He can't handle it. It's just, he's clearly losing sleep over it. And this made my week here. This is Harry Sisson with 2 other gals complaining about J.D. Vance. And these people are just filled with hatred. This is, have you been watching
to
this?
To be fair, you could tell me this is 3 dudes or 3 women.
Right.
That blonde chick's a dude? Oh, man.
Yeah. The blonde chick on the left, she's been trending a lot because she's really big on saying very inflammatory and angry stuff. She's very mean-spirited. She has very nasty nicknames for Trump and JD and all this stuff. So she's been trending a lot. I think it's the left believes this is how you become hip with it in the social media scene.
Mm-hmm.
So they got this gal, and She's kind of frightening looking, but her and Harry Sisson are going to talk about how much they hate J.D. Vance and his troll game, and this might be the highlight of my year so far.
Had it or
Which, folks, it's November. What happened with time, my man? I mean,
Christmas is coming, dude.
I'm gearing up to go to Chicago for Thanksgiving in a week. I mean, I can't, my mind is blown, dude. They cranked that CERN up to 11, man. Something happened this year with time.
hit it, JD.
And so here we have these three angry ladies. They're going to complain about J.D. Vance, and underneath it, we have the visual of J.D. Vance in the costume, while with the comparison of the meme of J.D. Vance. They're almost indecipherable.
Which remember, this is the party that we just spent 4 years listening to about body shaming.
Yes.
And now to make fun of this guy, you're making him fat. I mean, what happened to body shaming?
They're body shaming J.D. Vance.
He's not even fat.
No, but he fully embraced it. And
So
also,
funny.
does he wear eyeliner? What is with the eyes? What's going
he's
on?
for sure wearing eyeliner.
Yeah, he is.
He's halfway out that closet.
What's going on there? I mean, I'm 3/4. I drive the Subaru,
He's
but I
probably
don't.
got a Subaru in the garage. You know?
Probably has a Subaru. All right, here's Harry Sisson with his girlfriends complaining about J.D. Vance.
Vance's Halloween costume.
Oh God, had it. I think it was Tommy Vitor who you were talking to, and he said, "I'm so sick of losing to fucking losers."
Mhm.
JD Vance is such a fucking loser. He is such.
He's a loser, Mike, who ascended to the second highest position in America in his 40s. Total loser.
But Kamala Harris was a hero.
Right? Yeah. Who checked 2 boxes?
She literally fucked her way to the top and then happened to be a black woman when they needed a black woman. This guy grew up poor in Appalachia, made it to Ivy League college.
Allegedly, a lot of people say there's a lot of questions about the rise of J.D. Vance. You know, and he's buddies with Peter Thiel, and he's into the whole Palantir, Silicon Valley thing.
I don't
so
care. He clearly built those relationships himself. Right?
Right? Yes.
He wasn't born into the right family.
No, but no one heard people on the right saying Kamala Harris, what a loser, because she ascended. No, we may find some issue with the fact that she got to that position by simply checking off 2 boxes, black and female. I mean, that's not me saying that. That was Joe Biden. He very explicitly said, I got 2 qualifications for vice president, black and female. She checked those 2 boxes, and you know what? She ascended to the second highest position in American politics. By no means is Kamala Harris a loser. In fact, I'll go way back into the archives and we can discuss how she went in 25 years from being a side action ass piece for Montel Williams
in a threesome
to being vice president. No loser does that.
No,
I'm sorry.
Not a loser at all.
No.
How many women? I said it before. How many women fucked Montel Williams and didn't make it to vice president?
A lot of losers.
If anything, she is the winner of all the girls that fucked.
Right, man. Same goes for J.D. Vance. I don't know how he got there, but you know what? He's a winner, man. That's a winner.
You're right. Look at the arguments, because we never said Kamala was a loser. I said she was incompetent. Why was she incompetent? Well, she was the border czar that never went to the border.
Yes.
For starters, that's one. Okay, now instead of telling me J.D. Vance is a loser, tell me something that makes him a failure.
Yes, exactly,
Right?
man. No, if you were in the White House, you're no loser, man. You won at life. You won along the way. You made it.
Yes, especially if you're incompetent.
Oh,
That's
then
gotta be even harder.
That's what I'm saying. You're more of a winner. Like Kamala Harris, you made it to that without any merit or work or anything. Like, that's amazing.
Lori Lightfoot was in no way a loser. Just a terrible, worst mayor.
Worst mayor, maybe second in history to Brandon Johnson, maybe, right? But yes, a winner in all accounts. Absolutely. No, and Kamala Harris, you made it to vice president. You're a big time winner, especially considering you didn't have to go based on anything to get there. You just checked a couple boxes based on your skin color and your gender. That's what got you there. I mean, realistically, Kamala Harris never got a single vote. Never got a single vote, yet became number 2 in America. I mean, that's pretty impressive, dude. That's
and
a winner.
Ran for president.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah. So, and of course, she did lose eventually. She's the loser in the 2024 race. But
compared to Trump, she's a loser, but we all are.
We all are losers.
A loser. He's one of those insecure men I just described earlier. And I think, Jennifer, you described him as like, a failed drag.
I think the insecure guy is the one who 4 weeks later can't let go of a poop AI video that
who's crying between two women, literally. Not the guy who's wearing the costume of the meme.
I also can't do who's wearing more makeup, JD Vance or Harry Sisson at this point. I'm really not sure.
I don't know who's more gay. I'm sure they will fuck when they meet.
just get him alone with Don Lemon on some sort of podcast. We'll let him shake it out.
Lemon pie.
Lemon pie. Yeah. All right.
Queen. It's what he always wanted. And then he had to write the book and, pretend to be that. And then now he's vice president. It's what he always wanted. He is such a loser. He's an insecure man. He doesn't have a job.
Frank, it's what he always wanted and he achieved it. He's such a loser.
Don't.
That's something he wanted his whole life and he achieved it. Just such a loser. Such a loser.
The way he passively runs through, and then he wrote a book. Yeah.
It became a #1 bestseller. What a loser. Frank, everything he's ever set out to do, he achieved. What a loser. What a loser.
He wrote a book, was elected to Congress, became vice president. Loser.
Please, nobody tell Harry Sisson that I just became a plumber. I don't want to know what he thinks about me.
He's an insecure loser who took a meme of himself, a mockery of himself, and embraced it and made it his own costume for Halloween. Insecure, Mike. A very insecure guy.
That's the most insecure I've ever seen.
He is such a loser. He's an insecure man. He doesn't have a job. All he does at the White House is troll. He went after me.
Coming from an influencer, a guy who literally doesn't have a job. What the fuck, dude?
He's the vice president. He's the vice president.
He's the head of the Senate. I don't know. I think he's got a job, man.
But when Kamala did it, most important job in the country.
That's right.
Oh, so stupid.
He does at the White House is troll. He went after me on Twitter. You cannot be an elected official at that high and going after 23-year-olds on social. No. That cannot be the way. And so I hate JD Vance, and so I've certainly had it with his dumbass costume, his dumbass face, and everything he does.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Harry.
Jesus. Come on, dude. 23, man. You're acting a little young for your age there, buddy.
Oh man, can you imagine being 23 and having your panties that bunched up over JD Vance,
over the vice president,
right?
Over a guy who's a loser with no job.
Yeah, dude. A total loser, man. I fucking love that, man. But this is just, this goes to show what's been going on in our country. And it's not just celebrities or influencers or politicians. It's just people, regular folks in our everyday lives who are seriously messed up from Trump Derangement Syndrome, dude.
I know.
This guy hates Trump so much. Listen to how he talks about JD Vance. It's amazing, man.
I almost can't wait for Trump to get out of office just so they could start talking about the next guy. And I could be like, what, you just said that about Trump for 16 years. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like they don't even remember their hatred for Bush.
Dude, absolutely, man. I mean, they forgot Bush and Cheney, Darth Vader, to the point where they love Dick Cheney. I was asking, Em and I were talking about this the other day, but who are these lunatics going to obsess over when Trump is gone?
The next guy, whoever they tell them
How is that possible? Next. I've honestly never seen this before, though. I can't think of a guy like Trump that has had this effect on so many people. I mean, we know people in our own family who wouldn't go on vacation with to visit other people because of who they voted for, because of Trump derangement syndrome.
Because of Trump, I know.
It's a clinical issue, man.
I think they'll be able to pull it off. They'll push the hate onto somebody else. They already kind of started with JD Vance because he's worse than Trump, Frank. He's young Trump.
Man, they're gonna have to Nazify Marjorie Taylor Greene because I think she's running in 2028. I heard she's been putting out feelers in her community and what have you. So it's always been the left pushing the woman president, and it doesn't work because all the leftist women remind all of us of our least favorite third grade teacher, right? That's all the women on the left.
Good call.
But I think the right could pull off a woman president because right-leaning women, I don't know, they're tough, but they're also still kind of founded in that feminism, you know? Like they don't have that thing, what's it called? A penis, which really helps, I think, with connecting with the women on the right.
And they don't have the nose ring. So that's just automatically, you know?
But the Trump derangement syndrome, something that hits really close to home for you and I, with people in our family, and for me with friends and coworkers and colleagues here in the Denver region. But I've stumbled upon a clip where they got a psychotherapist to actually discuss this phenomenon that he's been experiencing with his patients. I don't know if you saw this floating around out there at all.
Yeah.
Super interesting. It's kind of nice to finally have someone talking about it out there in clinical terms. It's not just like a podcaster or, Steven Crowder complaining about TDS, or you or I. No, this is a psychotherapist, and he's diagnosing his patients with this issue. And I think this is finally now being discussed in an appropriate way. And it's nice that we can not just be nut jobs saying, oh, you got TDS, you got TDS. It's like, no, this is a clinical issue that's afflicting like a huge percentage of the population. So shall we dance?
Oh, I can't wait.
First of all, identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Well, Harris, it doesn't take long to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. They're fixated, they're hyper fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered. Jesus. So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
Yeah, man.
These people come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
Well, and Trump is the trigger for many of these people. And to be that fixated on a figure, on a person.
Dude, this is the media's fault. This is legacy media's fault. And The View and The Daily Show and Jimmy Kimmel and just this nonstop propagandized bombardment of Trump rage and hate. Here we are now, man. We've elected Hitler.
It's simply not healthy, and our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, "I hope you're all Republicans," to the surgeons, and the response was, "Today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans." But our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I love that line, dude. Today we're all Republicans. That's fucking awesome, man. Trump derangement syndrome, clinical. We know people in our lives that have it. I'm sure everybody out there has folks in their lives that have it. And it's directly a result of the propaganda from legacy media. Absolutely.
You believe democracy's ending. The country's ending. Country as you know it. And the worst part is all these people in TDS are boomers who have it better than anybody.
Yes,
It's
absolutely,
insane.
man.
They should be cheering on stock market at all-time high, You know what I mean? They're the only ones that are living good.
Dude, for sure. And then, of course, last week, did you see the clip of Jimmy Kimmel and his wife on that podcast with all the other lesbian chicks? And Jimmy Kimmel's wife talks about how she almost needs to go through some sort of deprogramming in order to be able to accept her family and loved ones in their lives and be able to, like, still live with them and interact with them, because these family members who voted for Trump have voted for the enemy of her husband. Who her husband, she declared that, Jimmy Kimmel goes out there and fights Donald Trump every single night for the 100,000 people watching his program every evening.
Oh, man. I've never gone to work and anybody be like, hey, did you see Jimmy last night? I've never heard one person say that.
Never. I've never heard that.
Every day somebody's telling me, like, did you see that Joe Rogan podcast? It's
Yes.
never... Or Tim Dillon. I don't know. That's crazy.
These people have lost their minds. But the Trump Derangement Syndrome, it continues to infect. We're going to have to deal with it for the next 3 years still. So keep rolling, but it will be gone.
Another one, dude. I'm telling you, they're going to bring in the next one.
Maybe Nick Fuentes. That's who's the boogeyman now, right?
It's gonna be like, remember Ted Cruz? Like they made a villain out of Mitt Romney.
Right, the Mormon.
Mormon, who's like the nicest guy ever.
Maybe, I don't know, something creepy about Mitt. I couldn't put my finger on it. Maybe it was the name Mitt. I think Mitt.
Terrible name.
Something about that.
They should have rebranded. But
you got to refresh to be fresh, that kind of situation.
But remember, they literally had nothing on him, and they had to go with binders of women.
Right. Yes.
Dude, that was like the most insane.
Dude. Wow.
And for those that don't remember, they were like, "Are you gonna pick a woman?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have a binder full of qualified women's resumes." And they just were like, "You have?" He said he has a binder of women. Like, what? No. You don't remember that?
I totally do, actually. There were two controversies with Mitt Romney when he was running. It was the binder of the women, and then he got caught with the undercover camera discussing like 30% of the population of being poor or something, or there was some element where it made him it made him sound like an elitist and looking down on a population. I don't know.
These were the times we were living in.
This was following the tan suit controversy. We had the tan suit and then Mitt Romney with the binder of women. And
now we're arguing over which side fucked more children.
Yeah. Which side has more pedophiles?
Pedophiles.
That's where
the
we're going here.
Controversy of today versus the controversy of back then. It used to be a simpler time.
I don't know. I've been looking back a lot on those times, that the Obama era specifically, and that's where, now it's becoming clear that the Crossfire Hurricane, they were really illegally trying to do soft coups and all this creepy stuff. But dude, the racism that came out of the Obama era is what's really, I think, ruining our culture still to this day. We're still living with this race hustle that Obama brought on.
Yeah, the race hustle
into our world, man. And
worry about
it wasn't just Barack. I think Michelle, our favorite,
Big Mike,
one of the biggest aggregators of this whole identity politics and race bait, race hustle phenomenon. And Big Mike still out there doing the rounds. I've heard rumblings she could be floated out there for the 2028. Yeah, I see Mike's giving it the big, hard no.
They're going to go with the white guy.
You got to go with the white guy. It's the only way to do it.
They need to win.
They need to win. We're bringing in the old white guy for this one. But Michelle's out there. She's still race hustling, still race baiting, and she was at this speech or this convention. I don't know what was going on. It was a bunch of women. They're all
insane. This whole thing was insane.
This
Every clip I've seen.
Dude. So last week, I don't know if we played the clip or not, but we definitely discussed Michelle Obama on one of her podcasts complaining about the glam team at the White House and how it would take her 3 hours to beautify, to be the first lady, and how people don't realize like you need a glam team to wow the world. And so,
which I argue Trump probably takes more time.
He probably has a far bigger glam team.
Oh, it's got to take him forever to do that hair.
So here she is doubling down now on her complaints and victimhood and how she's, has it harder than everybody else. And Michelle, a.k.a.
Big Mike,
is going to give us a brief lowdown on what it's like to be a black woman in society and being, held down by this beauty standards of white America, this institutionalized systemic racism, forcing black women specifically to abide by these beauty standards. This is a good one.
Worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes.
That was a little hot.
Hot.
We're gonna go down there. And I like how she kicks it off too. Let me explain something to white people out there.
Yes.
Could you imagine Laura Bush on a book tour right now, and she's up on stage and she says, "Let me explain something to all you black people out there."
Oh God, I wish.
Could you imagine that?
I wish you would.
Oh my God! All right, let's try this again.
Worry about it.
How we coming across there now?
Perfect.
Excellent. Michelle's gonna explain something to all us white people.
Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So
oh, thanks, Michelle. I had no idea that's.
I've actually never seen a black person's hair before.
What happens when you get water on that, I wonder?
But when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim.
Trapped by the straightness. A statement that only makes sense coming from
Big Mike.
No, but dude, she's saying that while her hair is straight.
I know. Well, listen, she's trapped. She's trapped, man.
We're not saying it's more beautiful. You're saying it's more beautiful by doing it. Stop just... Right?
Yes, man.
I know a black girl that wears her hair natural all the time, maybe braids it.
I'm sure it's lovely.
She believes it looks better. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
I'm just saying, you're the one that's saying it looks better by doing it.
Absolutely. And I just got to side with Michelle Obama here when it comes to being trapped by straightness. I know more about that than anyone as a 3/4 Subaru driver here in Denver. I mean,
who just can't come out. He's 3/4.
Nobody understands Michelle Obama more than Denver men in general. Just all Denver men trapped by straightness. Oh my God, what a nightmare, man. Absolutely, dude.
That's so funny. In Denver, she's the biggest, strongest man.
That's
I just realized that in Denver, men are getting taken over by 14-year-old girls.
Yeah, I mean, hold your belongings closely when some teenage women walk past you if you're at a bus stop, right?
It's scary for a Denver man, you know?
But this is inevitably, this was predicted by myself. I've been discussing this for a long time. This complaining by Michelle Obama. It's so much easier for a lady to become a fella than for a fella to become a lady. You got to abide by all these extra beauty standards. So you got to understand, for a lady fella like
Big Mike,
I mean, to have to straighten it. Oh, dude, all the makeup that you got. Of course, you need a 3-hour glam team
because she's got to do everything a white woman does, makeup wise, everything, and then the black hair routine for the straight hair. And he still has to shave his face.
That's right.
So this guy's never getting out of the bathroom. You know?
Do you know how long it takes to tuck an 8-inch dong like that, man? It takes some time, dude.
It's a lot of duct tape. Let me tell you.
And we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all.
Please don't do me any more favors.
It's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair. Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't.
Wow.
I've never once thought about Michelle Obama's hair. I don't think about black people's hair.
She's talking about white people like they're animals.
I know. And who's touching her hair?
I don't know, dude.
Crazy.
It's so racist, man. These people are Democrats are so racist towards everyone. Nobody is free from their racism, man. Black people, according to Democrats, can't find the DMV. White people, according to Democrats, can't help themselves when they see a black person. They just got to touch their hair and see what it feels like. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that before.
And Michelle, let me tell you something. I wish I had that problem.
Yes, dude.
Sitting over here. We got to come up with a word for a hair. She's a hairist.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
A hair elitist.
Hair
Yes.
elitist. Over here complaining about your hair to a
Wow.
bald man.
Yes, dude.
Terrible.
It's a bit ableist, if you ask me, I think,
yeah.
honestly. Hairist. I'll go with hairist.
It's like complaining about a sprained ankle to a guy who's got no legs.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
No!
Come on.
Great call, man. Yeah, complaining about the hair, man. That's
So
two
sad.
now. 2 weeks in a row. Michelle Obama trending because she's complaining about how tough her life is to be a multimillionaire with a property in Martha's Vineyard. I don't even know where Martha's Vineyard is on a map. I don't even know how to actually spell it, to be honest. It's
We're
so
not allowed
elitist.
to know.
That's right.
We're too poor to even point it out on a map. No, dude, but who do you think has it worse? You who went through the 3 hours of makeup and everything, and then you got onto Vogue, and everybody said you were the most beautiful first lady, or the lady who spends 3 hours, is a supermodel, and they call her ugly.
I know, dude.
Right? Who could never do anything right. The Christmas was ugly. Everything she touches is terrible. Which nobody even talked about. The fact that they signed this bill to help out foster children who age out of the system.
All right. Wow.
It was a bill that Melania was like really big on pushing through, and then they passed, and Trump signed it with her. He had her sign the bill too.
That's
It was
amazing.
it was like this big thing that nobody fucking talked about.
Of course, man. Yeah, because it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Nobody
can't
could hate it.
spin that in any way, man.
Nobody could hate it.
That's why, weather modification was trending this week because of Dane Wigington going on Tucker, and then he also went on Newsmax and gave a big lowdown on all the weather modification going on. And I was really thinking about it this week, man, because with the TDS that's going on and all this stuff. Trump, please throw us a bone, do us a favor. Go out there and support weather modification. Will you please just go out there and
stop it?
Talk about how you're going to sign a bill to permanently block the sun and really increase chemtrails and go all in on geoengineering.
It'll take 48 hours before fat women in Chicago will be throwing themselves in front of a plane.
Yes.
Why are you arresting me?
Exactly, dude. No, well, Whoopi Goldberg will be there on Monday on The View, ripping on it. I mean, that's what we need Trump to support geoengineering and weather modification.
Yes.
Then we'll finally get it to end, man. Hell yeah,
dude. But seriously, we got to talk about the one thing that really matters that nobody talked about. Nobody talked about the Epstein Files. Can we go back to the Epstein Files? No. The story about the trailer park.
Right.
This is the most incredible story that literally nobody talked about.
Well, there's a lot going on with the Chinese buying up property in America. And I think some people are tapping into the fact that the Chinese are buying up a lot of farmland, which should really concern people. I don't think we want the Chinese dabbling in our food. Bill Gates, maybe a little bit, but no Chinese, right? We're
no
okay
Chinese, no.
Because
then what happens if they just decide to stop growing food?
Right.
We go hungry, you know?
Or what's to stop them from putting who knows into our food, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying they don't even have to go through that effort. They could just stop farming.
Yeah, great call. And then we starve to death, which is a great way to kill your enemies, right?
It really is.
Or at least slow them down before you invade.
Especially if they're dumb enough to let you in.
And then dumb enough to let you buy property next to where we blast off our nuclear planes.
Insane.
Which is
all the B2s.
Pretty crazy. I didn't know that the home of our nuclear bombers was in Missouri. If I'm remembering this correctly. Missouri.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
I
so?
didn't
Yeah.
either. Yeah, I thought it would be somewhere like in the
I'm-
Rockies or something.
I thought maybe near NORAD here in Colorado.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
we
what I
got
was
Space
thinking.
Force, we got the Air Force down in Colorado Springs. This week we had massive amounts of solar flare action going on,
I
and
saw those pictures. Yeah.
I took some great photography of the geoengineering that was going on here in Colorado, Mike. And I'm not kidding. For the 2 days when the solar flares were at their maximum, there was a Mr. Burns style cloud shield over the entire Front Range, stretching from Colorado Springs all the way to Fort Collins and covering just the tip of the mountain range where NORAD is. I'm telling you right now, they geoengineered a solar block to stop the solar flares from taking out communications. That's my belief.
Yeah, didn't it like strike anybody as weird that Trump was like, we're gonna start nuclear testing again, and then now we're getting Northern Lights in Kentucky?
Dude, it was in Florida they were getting Northern Lights.
Yeah, like crazy.
It got weird though this week too. The temperatures got really funky. They had like frost in Florida, so I mean, weird
No,
stuff.
they're geoengineering, man. You're right.
I think the geoengineering was specifically this week to block the solar flare activity from taking out or disrupting our communications.
But wasn't it the solar flares that did the Northern Lights?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who knows what's going on out there? Allegedly. That's right. You know what I think this whole solar activity was from, Mike? From our friend, the One Headlight. Yeah. He's just cruising by, man. Thrusting.
It's coming, dude. December. It's going to be here in no time.
That's right, man. We're in for it for sure. But in the meantime, the Chinese buying up property probably where they shouldn't. And, hanging out in some trailer parks.
All reports a U.S. nuclear.
And this is, I don't know what news this is actually. Daily Caller. All right, so we're rocking some Daily Caller here, and you're not hearing about this on the mainstream news. Is my whole point. We're not getting this from Tonight with Dave Muir on NBC.
Right.
This is you're getting
He's
the
talking
side
Epstein.
news.
He's too busy with Epstein.
Yeah, that's right.
Bomber fleet shares a fence with a trailer park linked to Chinese intelligence. Here it is. So it's one thing for a Chinese couple to buy a trailer park. Here it is. This is thanks to Google Image. It is another thing for them to go to great lengths to hide who they are, including using multiple shell companies to conceal their identities. Why is this all important? Because they bought a trailer park in the middle of Missouri. No disrespect to Missouri. It's at the foot of the runway where America's largest fleet of B-2 bombers take off. So you can see on the map there, the B-2s are just on the other side of those trees. So here's the map. The trailer park is right behind the runway, less than a mile away. So in the event of war, our B-2 bombers would be taking off over Chinese-owned land.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Excuse me? That's kind of nuts, man.
Nobody thought this was a bad idea?
Think of the strategery, though, by the Chinese.
No, that's genius.
To buy out this land that nobody's thinking about. It totally would be the Chinese.
Somebody got a huge promotion. They laughed. He was a general's son with this crazy idea. Let him go try it. Dude.
Wasn't it just a few months ago we played the clip of the Chinese spy who got busted in Michigan messing with our food supply?
Was that Michigan?
I think it was in Michigan. There was some biochemical breakout or something, right? Something happened there. Am I mistaken?
I don't remember. I do remember them catching that spy.
There's a lot of Chinese spy action going on in America that I don't think we're paying enough attention to. We're really obsessed with Epstein in the list.
Yeah, no,
we're not focused enough on the Chinese spies doing stuff in America, man.
It's almost like China had this 4-year period where they could just send people into America. And nobody was asking any questions.
Yes, man. We still don't have an answer for that one Iranian dude. Do you remember that footage of the Iranian fella who he had already crossed the border, and the guy filming him's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Don't worry, my friend. You will find out soon enough."
I am student.
Yeah.
You're like 45. Super jacked.
No, the guy threatened the dude filming him. Is like, "You're gonna know my name soon enough, my friend." I mean, it was We got some bad actors here in America.
It's even more alarming when you factor in that the shell companies trace back to a convicted fraudster with alleged ties to the Chinese Communist Party. This is happening in Republican Congressman Mark Alford's district in the state of Missouri. As I said, no disrespect to Missouri.
Everybody from Missouri looks the same.
Yeah, they really do.
Everybody I've ever met from Missouri looks like this guy, like an older or younger version of this guy.
A trailer park near Whitman Air Force Base in Missouri is an investment when you're sitting in Beijing.
They only found out because they're so racist in Missouri. Who are these? Who are these chicks that bought up the? Like they just saw two Chinese people buying a trailer park. They're like, something's going on. No,
man,
they got to be connected.
I think they made the wrong move here. You got to embrace these people like we do here on the Dude Man podcast, who are future overlords. Hiroshima.
We will work in trailer parks.
That's right, and we will be paid in yen. We accept the yen.
And going, you know, honey, what could we invest in? Oh, I know. Let's find a trailer park.
And get a lot of double wides.
Right.
I don't think they're interested in that, Leland. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I worked at that trailer park, and every rich guy who heard me talking about a trailer park, everybody said they're gold mines.
Really?
It's a gold mine to own a trailer park.
I imagine you hit a jackpot from time to time when you evict people or they don't come back. So then you can raid the trailer, get all the goods.
No, it's nothing but garbage. These are the poorest people. No, that's the thing is you have to have no soul and be okay with kicking out families on the street.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it.
And getting these people to sign terrible deals for themselves. But it's a fucking gold mine because they can never take the trailer with them.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. You own the trailer in the trailer park?
They buy the trailer from you, and then they rent the land from you, and then they miss one payment, and you kick them out.
Oh, that's brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow.
And then you just turn around and do it again. It's a gold, and there's like no maintenance. It's really cheap maintenance. Dude, it's a gold mine.
You basically just have to, just ensure that the electricity flows and the water to the spot, right?
Yeah, but there's they get away with they don't have to follow codes like everybody else because they're all technically temporary buildings. They're not dude, crazy. It's so you could essentially if you wanted to run power to your garage, it's going to cost you $20,000 because you got to dig a trench, you got to bury that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got to bury that conduit to run it. You got to add breakers. At a trailer park, I'm not even joking. There were some trailers that just had an extension cord that was 2 inches in the ground.
For sure. Oh, absolutely. That's what I imagined. Yes.
Yeah, there's no regulation.
You need an outlet. If you're running the park, you just need an outlet for them to plug into. That's probably the maximum.
Well, these are trailer homes, not
Right.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of juice.
So that's the money maker in this world. You open up a trailer park.
Buy a trailer park.
Yeah, all right. I always thought storage was the way to go. You get yourself a storage facility, man. You can really hit the jackpot there, right?
That's where you find the jackpot, yeah.
I've learned all of that from Storage Wars. That's all my storage knowledge comes from Storage Wars.
It's true. We know a guy that did it.
What, Storage Wars?
Yeah.
Really? I know a guy?
Daryl.
He was on Storage Wars?
No, he was on the show, but they did that for a while. They ran a resale shop, went to the auctions.
Really?
Auctions. Yeah.
To score some
Said you never
stuff?
get shit out of those lockers.
No, I mean, are you really putting anything valuable in a storage locker? I think storage lockers are a cheap way to store crap you don't want to think about for a long time.
Well, I had one, and when I knew I was going to stop paying for it, I just put all my garbage in there, and I took everything that was worth it.
Right. And then you leave the crap.
And then you leave the crap. I wasn't going to, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a facility to hold crap, and then when you're ready to go, you take what's valuable there, and then you leave the crap and other.
You should never get a storage locker, because if you don't have a house, and if you don't want it in your house, you don't want it. Throw it out. You don't need it, right?
I don't know. Emma worked with a guy, these partners. They owned a dispensary in Boulder, and they had a storage unit in a kind of a faraway place near Denver, but within the city limits. And you would roll up to it and it was a normal storage area, and then you'd go inside and it was like a man cave, man. And they like one of the owners had his boat in there, and they created a loft area where it was like an office and a big screen TV and a fridge. I mean, it was a freaking man cave, dude. It was awesome. But it was in this storage area, and all I could think was, there's probably a bunch of storage units around this man cave with just crap, just like filled with junk. But then in the middle of these units filled with junk, you got this like kick-ass man cave, man. Like that.
Unless those are also man caves. And then like you go there on a Saturday and it's like the great or Sunday
all the
football.
dudes are getting down and the wives are back home watching the kids, man. It's very possible. Very possible.
You never know.
It opened up my mind to a world I didn't think existed, which is there could be some real gems in some of these storage units. And, you get a storage unit, you could turn it into something really fun.
You wouldn't believe how many people live in storage units.
I probably wouldn't believe it, actually.
It's pretty incredible.
I mean, could you pull it off? I guess these dudes pulled off a man cave. I'm sure there were several nights where they slept at the man cave, right?
I slept in my locker. I had a hammock in there.
Nice.
I slept in there a couple times.
Comfortable?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And then, but you wouldn't believe how many other dudes are sleeping in these storage units.
You would say it's probably a higher number than I would expect.
I think it's a higher number than everybody expects.
Right. Times are tough, man. That's that's what you get in the tough times. And that's why, I think people are unionizing, and they've had enough with the billionaires, the trillionaires, and not getting enough to feed the kids or to get your SNAP benefits or afford your 6-figure car, right? So what do we do in these situations, Mike? We go on strike, baby. That's what we do.
Who's going on strike?
Our favorite striking workers. They can't get enough. They're aggrieved. They're victims. And we're going to the one place to get this news, the one place only. That's right. Democracy Now! I hope everybody has a tall glass of water. And we're going on strike. Your favorite, Mike, baristas.
1,000 workers at 65 Starbucks stores across the United
protest
States.
more than the fucking teachers union. They're the only people protesting more than the teachers union. What the fuck, baristas?
They're on strike, man. Come on. They got the hardest jobs in the world. They're making coffee.
A one-day strike Thursday to protest Starbucks' campaign of union busting and its refusal to negotiate union contracts.
These Starbucks strikes are my favorite. I try to count all the man buns as they show the people protesting. Man buns and septum piercings.
Your job... If you took all the plumbers off the earth right now, we'd all be in trouble.
Yes.
If you took all the baristas off the earth right now, we would all just go back to making our own coffee. Your job is nothing. It's pure convenience.
I think the rule for going on strike is society needs you working in order for society to continue.
Yes.
And then if you go on strike, well, we got to start wheeling and dealing and get you back to work. But
right.
baristas, man, is there a group of people we need less in this world?
Right. And union, you should age out of barista.
I know.
You know what I mean? There is no union retirement plan. You should age out of being a barista. You should want more.
Nah, you don't see those crusty old dudes in their 70s with their barista jackets that they got from the union after they did their tour? Come on.
He's got the golden jacket.
I got golden. That's the pumpkin spice. The pumpkin spice color.
Get the fuck out of here, guys.
The baristas held the action on Red Cup Day, typically one of Starbucks' busiest days
Do you know
of the
how
year.
much coffee is going to cost if we have to start if we have to start paying for pensions? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You're going to protest yourself out of a job.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, they're going to automate. It's going to go AI. They already have the AI technology.
Automate. My coffee machine turns on by itself at 4 a.m. every day.
Dude, we're 8 months away from you walk into every Starbucks. It's a flat screen. It talks to you.
Oh, yeah.
You probably don't even have to touch it anymore. you're gonna interact with this AI flat screen, and then a robot barista is gonna craft your pumpkin spice latte, and it's going to come out on a conveyor belt, and that's it. And there's going to be one guy working in this place, a technician who fixes the robots when they malfunction and put out too many lattes. Yeah,
fills them up with the milk and the ingredients.
Exactly,
this is
man.
Insanity, dude. Nobody needs you.
No, this is when it comes to essential workers, you are non-essential. I hate to break it to you, man. Amazing.
Starbucks Workers United calls the company one of the most egregious violators of U.S. labor law in modern history, with the National Labor Relations Board finding over 500 labor law violations. Another 700 pending unfair labor practice charges have yet to be litigated. This is Ray Shao,
Unbearable
a 23-year-old
working conditions. Go get another job.
No.
You're a barista. What do you mean?
There's so many other places you could go work if you don't like working at Starbucks, man.
Do you know more days than not, I literally have to climb into a sewer?
Yes.
You guys are talking about unlivable working conditions?
Yeah, man. It's amazing. This is amazing, right? They don't know how good. The other day at work, someone was mentioning something about kind of having a moment, like a woe is me moment, and then thinking, well, I got it pretty good compared to like a homeless guy down the street, right? Or something along those lines. And he was talking about it, and I said, I just look at like a news article from Sudan, and I'm like, wow, I got nothing to complain about. Do you see what these people are going through in Darfur?
Just for being the wrong religion.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. And so we have it so good here in America. You have it so good. You get to go picket in front of Starbucks and complain about pouring coffee for people. That's and your working condition where you're steaming up lattes is unworkable, unlivable, is inhumane. Have you seen what the Uyghurs are going through in China right now?
I just watched this special on these indentured servants in India who are making mud bricks.
Right.
Not just them, their whole family, their kids. That's all they're ever gonna be. Like,
and they got it better than the dudes who work in the warehouse for the jerk-off robots, right? The carpal tunnel syndrome, the tennis elbow, those guys, they have it worse than the mud rock
those
brick people,
here
man.
Yet. Those aren't here yet. That's to come. AI is working on the jerk-off robots. You know?
No, we have it so good here in America, and you're saying it's unworkable, unlivable, inhumane conditions to be fucking steaming up some lattes.
Come on, dude.
Would you like a double or a triple shot with that? Oh, I can't handle this.
The straw is anxiety.
Inhumane, man. It's so hot in here. Why is it so hot in here?
God, I know. Get the fuck out of here. Any job you do with women, no offense, women, but any job where there's women on the job, it's not that hard.
Oh, wow.
Especially if you're a man.
And if you are at a place with the women, you got a lot of complainers. You end up on the picket line with them. That's what happens because everyone, you got nothing really to do, so you just start complaining about shit, and then you end up out on the picket line, and then when it's cold outside.
But I'm just saying, like, the really hard jobs with the terrible conditions are the jobs where it's 97% men. You know, on a freezing cold day, in January, digging a hole to fix a pipe, you look around, it's all men. There's not any woman out there, right?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson isn't out there showing up the dudes as she like rips some concrete out of the ground, right?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go to a Starbucks and it's like it's a 60% woman workforce.
Oh, for sure. Oh man, this sewer's covered in rats. Someone get Charlize Theron. We gotta get a hard-nosed individual in here to take care of this disgusting situation.
No, there's not a lot of women out there.
At a Starbucks here in Manhattan.
I'm putting in overtime
And
every
you're
week
in
just so-
Manhattan. You're in the richest fucking part of the country. Oh my god.
That's why I love this clip.
It gets worse.
These baristas are like, I can't afford to live here. You voted for where you live, by the way. You're voting for all your taxation and regulation, and then you probably voted for jacking up your minimum wage to $20 an hour. And now what's happening? Oh, it's not enough. It's never enough, man.
Yeah. Oh, I just heard an interview with Bernie Sanders where he poo-pooed $25. Like, $25? What's $25? You can't even buy a onesie anymore for $25. It was insane. It was fucking fucking insane.
They keep raising the minimum wage because you raise the minimum wage, you got to raise the prices of the things you're selling, and so it's never
5 years
enough.
ago, it was $15. We're at $25.
Dude, seriously, before the pandemic, $16 an hour was not enough to live. And now $20 an hour, not enough to live. It's never going to stop being enough. Never enough. It's supposed to be a minimum wage job because in order to live, you need 2 of them. That's how it always worked. I used to work two jobs.
Yes. I
Yes.
know. That's why you do it when you're young instead of sitting in your parents' house playing video games.
Exactly.
Or wasting your time as a barista. But like barista should be your second job.
The problem is we convinced 2 generations of people to think you're an artist if you're a barista. You know where the problem is? We call them baristas. Same thing with bartenders. You started calling them libation experts or mixologists. You know what?
God,
that's where we started to lose the narrative here, man. You know what? It should have stayed bartender. And as bartender, you make $8 an hour plus tips. Sorry, that's how it works as a bartender. It sucks. That's the point.
It's not supposed to be a career.
You're not supposed to want to be a bartender for the rest of your life. You're supposed to move out of it, ascend to a higher level, man. The same with barista.
You should know going into these jobs, there's no pension plan. 401k. This isn't a life.
Yes, man.
It's your career. It's a job. There's a difference between a job and a career.
And unfortunately, if you want to live in Manhattan, you best get 2 barista jobs. That's how it works in places like Manhattan, man. Get out of here.
I could afford my rent, so I could afford bills. It's crazy that we're working a full-time job and I still can't afford to pay the basic necessities I need to live. And meanwhile, our CEO is making $96 million.
I love that. Yeah. Do you know why he's making it? Because he's not a barista. Because he moved up in life to become the CEO.
Yeah, exactly. He ascended the ladder, man.
Ascended, yes.
He, for only 4 months of work. And meanwhile, our CEO is riding in a private jet, and I'm barely able to afford the MTA fare to go to work.
On Thursday, New York.
Then quit, man, or vote for a socialist, which I'm sure she voted for, man, Danny, and he's going to follow through on 0 promises. They're getting nothing for free. Nothing's going to work out like he guaranteed it for them. And they're all these socialist wannabe Democratic baristas are just going to end up in the exact same spot they were 4 years ago, man.
Go get a job. Go get a career. You know,
I think there's this artistry element, and I'm a barista. And did you see the leaf I made in your latte there? I mean, it represents the autumn that is upon us. You know, it's like, dude, no, you pour up a cup of coffee, man. That's all you do. This is not supposed to be a career. And it's, again, these menial, basic level jobs that take no talent.
That's the thing.
Can
no
teach
skill.
anyone to pour up a cup of coffee. I was a cook for a long time. I do think there are good cooks and bad cooks, but you could teach anyone to flip a fucking burger. You really could. It's the bottom line. Some are better than others, but you could teach anyone to flip a burger. And so
cooking is one of those things where like anybody could do it, but only people who like doing it do it well.
Absolutely. For sure. You know, but it's just, my point being is basic level jobs where you make tips, you can generally teach and train anyone to do it.
Fucking entry level jobs.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
It's so crazy. You know, I keep forgetting his fucking name. I just looked it up today. Chris Farley's brother. I think it's like John Farley.
I think it's one of those. Yeah,
I'm just calling everybody John today.
I like John. Works John for me.
McCarthy, John
covers
Farley.
all of them.
He was on a podcast and he talked about, he's the CEO of Ford.
Right.
And he said they've had
Jim Farley.
I knew it was a J. He said they have 5,000 open mechanic jobs that they cannot fill, and they're 6-figure jobs.
Unbelievable, dude.
Yes.
Quit the barista thing.
Yes.
Go to a school for a year and train.
No, you don't even have to go to school. That's the best part. You just come in. You're not going to start at 6 figures.
Right.
You start by being the porter. You know, you're driving the cars in and out of the shop for the guys to work on it. You start changing tires. You start changing oil.
Absolutely.
Work your way up through the apprenticeship, man. It's Nothing's easy.
That's the kryptonite of these current generations, and ours included, I feel like, which is you're hitting the key phrase that I think people avoid, which is work your way up.
Work your way up.
You have to work your way up. You can't
listen, you didn't get the computer science degree, so nobody's going to give you a 6-figure job. You got to work your way up.
Work your way up. I think that's what's killing people is and I was just thinking, I wrote it down here. You know, in all these protest clips we always pull, usually when it's Starbucks, they're never interviewing the manager of the Starbucks or the assistant manager.
No,
you ever notice that?
Way up and
because they worked their way up.
Yes, fucking healthcare. No,
yes. You noticed that?
Talked about earlier in the show that these guys are making $60,000 to $80,000 with benefits. That's insane.
You never see the managers complaining because they were formerly baristas, worked their way up, and now they have the benefits that come with working your way up, man.
It's so insane.
Yeah, dude.
Here's how it works, people. You start showing up on time, you start doing a good job, pretend like you care about your job. You're going to get promoted to manager, start making a little bit of money with benefits, and then you'll start voting Republican. I don't know how it happens at some point.
Dude, Em and I, we were again talking about it this weekend because of these new amendments they passed here in Colorado. They want to nail high-income workers and joint high-income workers. Any household that makes over $300,000 now is going to get hyper-taxed to pay for free lunches for kids at schools. And Em and I were going over the numbers, and at this point, we don't have kids, but we're paying for people for maternity leave. We're paying for people who don't want their kids to come from Texas to have their abortions for their children. And then we're now paying for the people who end up having the kids. We're paying for their free lunches at school. And we're getting nothing out of these taxes that are being pulled from our paychecks.
And I keep trying to tell people it's a double slap to the face. The forward hand is we're going to take your money and spend $3 million on girls from out of state to come get an abortion.
Yes.
And then the backhand is we spent that $3 million. 0 girls came from out of state to get the abortion. Yes. So you spent my money on a policy I don't agree with, and then you didn't actually do the fucking policy. What the fuck? What is I'm going insane.
Yeah, man. And when you start to crunch the numbers and everything, 5 years ago, Emma and I were not high income joint earners, right? But we've ascended, we've worked hard, we've gotten to a new point in life and a new tax bracket in a joint income house. And now these policies you jackass socialists are pushing on us are forcing our hand. And you're basically telling us, get the fuck out of our state if you have a problem with us stealing your money. Well, you're stealing my money. I don't want to be here anymore.
I'm going to get out of the state. I'm going to leave your state.
No, we were discussing Florida again because it's proximity-wise closer to our families. And both of our families like to visit Florida a lot. And we were, what's really starting to hit home? No income tax. And Ron DeSantis is going for no property tax. Well, you know what?
Just the idea that he's going for it.
Yes.
Here, there's not even
zero consideration here, man. It's crazy.
There's no even hint of the idea of lowering taxes here. No, we have to look. Actually, we have to raise taxes even on our elderly in Illinois. Nona just got the letters that they reduced her senior freeze.
Yes, we were talking about that
so
a couple weeks ago.
She has to pay more taxes.
Exactly.
Retired ladies. Now, that's who we're going after.
You're better off moving to Florida. And our retarded jackass governor Polis here was trying to do a gotcha on Ron DeSantis and showing him how, we use our tax revenue from marijuana sales to pay for our roads being fixed and schools and all this stuff. We're one of the lowest rated states for schools in the country and for education. We have a 27% math proficiency in our public schools here. And
I wish we had 27.
I know it's 0 in Chicago. We're a little bit better than Chicago.
No, it's insane. No, what are you getting for that money?
Nothing,
That's the whole
man.
point.
And our roads.
Then the worst part is it's subsidized by states like Florida because you guys are all using the SALT exemption.
Exactly. Yes.
Which makes it even worse. It's an insane system. We need to get rid of that SALT exemption.
Absolutely.
And let these Democrat cities just burn.
I totally agree. And you know what? Denver is in that list of cities that just need to be let to burn.
Yes.
And to learn the lesson. Colorado next year is going to pass their own Prop 50 that they did in California, and they're going to seal the deal on a supermajority Democratic rule here. So once that happens, man, if you're a high-income earner, kiss your money goodbye, dude. They're going to rack up regulations and taxation to the point where you're going to be losing over 50% of your paycheck. It's coming to Colorado, I promise
And here's
you.
what I don't think people realize, because a lot of people around here who make 180, 200,000, they don't think they're in that high earner category. Anything over 175, they consider you a high earner.
Yes.
They're going to tax the shit out of you over 175.
Yes, man. And
which is nothing now after a Biden administration.
Dude, it's literally nothing, man. It's crazy what they're considering high income earners. They're basically middle class people at this point.
Middle class. Yeah.
So you're taxing middle class earners, and that tax does hit the high income earners, but it doesn't affect them on any level.
No.
So it's just destroying the middle
killing
class.
the middle class.
You're pushing out the middle class, man.
Kills the middle class.
With this insane socialism that is spreading like wildfire.
Because then you're also bringing in these. You're bringing in migrants who are lowering the wage of the people who you are now taxing to pay for the migrants.
Yes. Yes, dude.
You're killing the middle
class. The socialism thing, though, is a wildfire spreading through the U.S. Katie Wilson, 43-year-old socialist who lives in off her parents' money, wins the mayoral race in Seattle, dude. Holy
they love
cow,
these rich
man.
kids.
Yes.
They love these rich kids.
And this is where it's going. The Democrats, you're not Democrats anymore. You're socialists. This is from Politico this week. The Democratic Party's unlikely new power couple, Gavin Newsom and Zoran Mandani, the faces of the Democratic Party now.
Just screaming masculinity.
That's right.
Zoran can't bench 135.
And my nuts hurt just from watching Gavin Newsom cross his legs, dude. There's no doubt.
It's insane.
But if you really want to see who the future of the Democratic Party is, you just got to listen to Charlemagne the God. I'm not going to play his clip, but he went on this spectacular rant on a podcast this week where he, unless you want to hear it, I know
want to hear it. I love
winding down.
God.
Charlemagne the God.
Plus, I slept really good last week, so I could look at his eyebrows today, and I could lose a couple days sleep. I'm well rested.
Him and Nancy Pelosi have the same eyebrow makeup artist, I believe.
It's insane.
And coincidentally enough, same guy does Charlemagne's tits. I don't know if you guys know about that. A little unknown factoid.
How tall is Charlemagne? Because he's got the energy of a 5'2".
You know what? He's a short king, from what I understand. There's no doubt about it. A short king with that Steph Curry energy. All right. He's a hip hop guy. He's an artist, so there's no way he's tall.
He's 5'6".
Oh, yes, man.
Not even a man.
Charlemagne.
5'7", dude. I knew you had that short guy energy, man. I'd be looking down on him.
Oh, man.
What's up, shorty?
It's him and Cat Williams, right? Trying to get in line for the kiddie ride.
Look at this guy.
Charlemagne here. He's professing his love for who he believes to be the face of the Democratic Party and someone who he thinks needs to just keep rolling with it. And
his real name is Leonard McKelvey.
Dude, every time with these guys. Every time, dude.
Is the whitest name I've ever heard in my
He
life.
probably was a theater major in college. You know what I mean? Come on, you know it too.
I never want to hear this guy talk about race again. Leonard McKelvey.
What's Tupac Shakur's real name? And he was a ballet guy in high school. Like, dude, all these guys, man, all of them. DMX is like 5'5", theater, like all of them, dude.
And you gotta see all these pictures of him. He's like trying to look all hard with the little shades. Look at Leonard McKelvey. Look at 5'6" Leonard McKelvey. God damn.
Every time with these hip hop dudes, man.
He's a 47-year-old man named Leonard McKelvey. So just remember that when you listen.
Probably grew up in the cul-de-sac of a really quiet suburban neighborhood, you know.
He was born in Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
Nailed it. Dude, show me the cul-de-sac right now. I know it's a cul-de-sac. This guy Just screams cul-de-sac living, man. Look at him.
He just lost all cred with me, man. Leonard.
Charlemagne the God. I mean, you got to go to a suburban high school to even know who Charlemagne the God
Good
is,
call.
right? So that's
Good call.
says it right there.
Educated.
All right, well, Charlemagne's going to give us the lowdown on who he thinks is the representative and carrying the Democratic Party to the
Jasmine
future.
Crockett is actually what the Democrats should be leaning into, like, because she is a phenomenal messenger. And some people just got it. Like, some people just have a different anointing on them. You don't know why certain people, cause folks to gravitate towards them. To me, it's more than Jasmine Crockett having that moment with Marjorie Taylor Greene when she was like bad bleach body or whatever it is. Like, if you watch her in these congressional meetings, like, she's always on message about something. I was watching her yesterday and she was, just blatantly, she was like, yo, Donald Trump is racist and this whole administration is racist and it starts at the top. And she just broke down example after example of why she just said what she said. And you heard them gasp at first, but then she broke down example of why she feels the way she feels. But it was all rooted in how, they just don't care about what's going on with the poor and disenfranchised. They don't care that y'all not getting y'all checks, during the government shutdown. They don't care that the SNAP benefits, are going to be gone on November 1st. They don't care about none of that.
They care about that ballroom.
And just the fact that she was able to articulate that in that 3-minute clip that I saw, and it was so powerful and so provocative, and you understood what the root of her issue was. And she got you by just saying, Donald Trump is racist, and this administration is racist, and let me tell you why. And then you get into all of the issues. I'm like, you need somebody like Jasmine Crockett. She is the most effective messenger that the Democratic Party has right now. And
the most effective.
She can't even talk right.
Mike,
I mean, she can.
no.
She chooses not to.
Yeah, right. She went to the Donna Brazil school of how to talk to your constituency. And go make some gumbo. Right? That's the Donna Brazil school of connecting to your voters.
It's so insane. How delusional is this guy?
No, I think he's right on the money. In fact, I saw this clip and then I thought, Mike, you sent me something of Jasmine Crockett. And I thought, oh, Charlemagne's right on the money, actually.
I'm sorry, you mean Leonard?
Leonard is right on the money.
Mr. McKelvey?
When it comes to connecting to the voter and to really conveying a clear, concise message, nobody is better than Jasmine Crockett.
Okay, a lot of the MAGA women receive gender-affirming care, such as lip fillers, breast augmentation, etc. Why do you think they are so against gender-affirming care for trans people?
You know you want to say it.
Okay, so I have this thing
I
where
will spit my drink out. Oh my god!
For our audio-only listeners out there, they pan out a little during this questionnaire, and it exposes a drag queen hanging out next to Jasmine Crockett.
So they warm you up with the fag in the suit, and then they they warm you up with that guy, and then they zoom out.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Then they zoom out to the 6'6" tranny drag queen.
Yeah, this is no petite individual in the drag costume. This is a large man dressed as a clown.
Especially compared to these two.
I know.
The guy's about equal height with Jasmine, and this guy comes in fucking NBA superstar, dude.
This bald bearded fella not fully convinced that it is a man. It could be a lady fella herself.
Oh, that's a man.
All right, we'll go for it.
Do you think they are so against gender-affirming care for trans people?
So I have this thing where, like, a MAGA woman when you see one.
1,000%.
They all have a look, right?
I love how they're in this clip, they're making fun of the way Republican women look. This clown.
And the Democrat woman is actually a giant dude in a dress, right? So we're going to make fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're going to not think about this dude in a dress, right?
Okay, listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene, not known for her looks, way more attractive than this man in pink hair in a dress. This very large, very fat man.
a woman when you see one.
1000%.
They all have a look,
Big
right?
back, but
But they like they lips be up to anyway.
Mhm.
That's a whole other issue. But yeah, they don't even know because when that was brought up on the House floor, because there was a
I
discussion
mean, just
about this on the
imagine
House.
Marjorie Taylor Greene being like, well, Jasmine got the lips.
Always, just like with the Laura Bush versus Michelle Obama, in my mind, I always flip the race or flip the person. Same line, just flip it around. How would
So
you guys
racist.
treat this situation? Exactly.
Floor. They were
Oh, no, go ahead.
like, how dare you say we use, and it's like, no, that's exactly what y'all do. Y'all just didn't realize that that's what it is. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very clear, concise.
I can see why Charlemagne loves you.
That's right, dude.
That's insane.
So we're gonna make
just for
fun
the
of
record,
Marjorie Taylor
just for the
Greene.
record, the drag queen could eat Charlemagne. Like, that- like Godzilla, just fucking pop him in her mouth.
The thing about these drag queens is they're cartoonishly masculine.
Oh, so yeah, it's
They're
insane.
always like, there's a lot of masculinity being masked over with this clown costume.
I wish I was as big and strong as that lady.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm physically more comparable to Jasmine Crockett, honestly. And so,
if we stood between them.
So to see the drag queen, I'm always just really impressed with the level of masculinity with these drag queens. I mean, they are huge dudes typically. I mean, it's always Bruce Jenner trying to be a chick. It's never the opposite way. You never get these mousy fellas doing the chick thing.
I think it has a lot to do with high school steroid use.
I've heard this a lot. I
Yeah.
do also kind of agree. The hormonal disruption, I think, is
especially during those high school years. But okay, so we were too busy laughing at the tranny in the dress or the lady fella, whatever it is. But did you hear what they did there? It's something that's been going. It's their new line that the left is using. They're saying lip filler for a woman is gender affirming care. No difference than chopping off the tits or the dick and making the opposite sex, turning somebody into the opposite sex.
They're calling lip filler gender affirming care?
If you go back, that's what the guy says.
I don't even understand how that is a thing. So
it's no different than the trannies.
If you're a woman and you get breast implants, is that gender affirming care?
Gender affirming care. Yeah. No different than if you decided to be a woman and you got tits.
So if I'm a fella and I'm like, I'm gonna take this pill, I'm gonna grow 6 inches, my dick's gonna get bigger, but I might go blind. Is that gender affirming care?
That would be gender affirming care.
Wow.
I'm hoping we get to that level one day.
That's right.
Where's this pill?
That means that the definition as it stands is controversial and they need to expand it in order to make it right. The gender affirming care thing never made sense to the just a general sniff. No, it's kind of a bonkers statement. Gender affirming care.
It doesn't make sense.
So you need to link something into it that is sensible or logical. And so lip filler is something normal people do. Normal women and dudes do this lip filler thing. So let's attach this normal thing to this outrageously ridiculous concept that we've concocted here. And so this legitimizes now gender affirming care.
Yes, which is insane.
Because so now
being a tranny is totally different than a lady getting lip filler.
Emma's mom gets, I mean, so if you're a woman who gets lip filler, it's the same thing as a dude having tits put on
Getting
or taking,
fake tits.
or
Yeah.
a teenager taking hormone treatments to stop their puberty.
Yes, and then again, the Democrats with your messaging. So you're telling me that full lips is a woman. You're not a woman unless you have full lips, so it's gender affirming care to get lip filler. Like, I don't get what your messaging is here.
I know. You know what their problem is? They don't have a definition for woman anymore. And
It's hard.
They're so hard on the concept of I see this all the time. A trans woman is a woman. Do you ever see these posts like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but
I love it.
a trans woman is a woman.
That's why I don't know if you noticed my Twitter. I just started accusing all women who are on the left of being trannies because nothing pisses them off more than being called a tranny.
Right.
And it's like, why are you, like Michelle Obama, why are you offended?
Yes.
I'm just calling you a woman.
It should be
they're real
complimentary.
women.
Right.
Not only are you a woman, according to you, you're a hero woman.
And you have a huge dick. Congratulations.
Big Mike.
You know what I'm saying, though? These people are hero and they're courageous.
Right.
You should take it as a compliment that I think you're a courageous woman. Who
Trans.
has a penis.
That's right.
I just can't tell nowadays.
It's my favorite line. A trans woman is a woman. And yet the victim in all of the tranny stuff, the homely gal.
The ugly
That's
girl.
the ugly girls, the butter faces,
who had
man.
the nice bodies that we would have taken home.
Right, but now
I don't know what's under those pants because they're getting too good at the tucking and
the tucking is a whole new science that we weren't, prepared for.
And
right?
we always joke how, like, the older you get, the harder it is to tell. You know, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Plus, my inhibitions are way lower.
And I'm not as picky.
I'm
Right,
definitely not as
I'm
picky.
letting an Adam's apple slide here and there, right?
Plus, a 30-year-old woman, not so different from a 20-year-old man. Same figures nowadays. You know?
Is this Bruce Jenner or Timothy Chalamet? I can't tell anymore. I don't know what's going on here.
Skinny jeans going on, like from afar, it's impossible to tell. You got it. That's why nobody's whistling at anybody anymore. You just can't tell.
Well, I'll be honest. If it's a dark room and I've had a few drinks and Timothy Chalamet doesn't have a mustache, I'm gonna probably be untethered here. I might just go for it.
Said it before, I'll say it again. The hottest chicks in Chicago have dicks.
That's
crazy. They're the tranny dudes. All the chicks are like fat.
Do you know what it is? Is they're trying harder. They're putting more effort into looking better, a little more makeup, a little spritz of the perfume, right? They're dolling it up. The trannies are dolling it up. The Dylan Mulvaney's, they're putting a lot more effort into being girly, and the girls, they're wearing baggy jeans now because that's popular.
They're wearing baggy jeans. They got the nose ring. They're cutting weird patterns in their hair.
Yes.
I mean, you guys look more manly than. It's crazy.
I'm actually more interested in Dylan Mulvaney now that I think about it.
Looks like he showers more. I'll take whatever sex. I'm gonna go with the one that showers more.
You're guaranteed a shaved crotch with Dylan Mulvaney. I think that's kind of
It's insane. Less armpit hair with that Dylan Mulvaney.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to bring back metrosexual. That's all this is teaching me now.
What a great time. 90s,
Oh man, that's right. Where the dudes look good and the chicks didn't have
time.
penises. It was a really wonderful time to be alive back then.
Yes. Did you happen to watch Bill Maher?
I did. Yeah, I got a little Bill Maher action.
Scott Galloway. That is one of those guys who I really like. A guy. I don't agree with any of his politics.
Same.
Really appreciate that he exists and that he's out there doing what he's doing.
Same.
I love the messages he puts out there.
I
wish
agree.
more people would listen to him.
Why is he the only guy on the left willing to actually talk about how culturally in America we've got a problem with men?
With men, yeah.
Men are not doing good in America. They're single, they're lonely,
Statistically,
they're
it's
addicted to porn. I
when
mean,
he broke down those stats,
yeah.
it's so sad for
It
men
is.
under 30.
Absolutely, man. No, and it's refreshing having him out there, but at the same time, it's really weird. It's like he's onto it. He's got his finger on the pulse. But then he gets wrapped up in this manosphere concept and how, there's this. I don't think you can identify we have an issue with masculinity, but then also be on the side of we have an issue with toxic masculinity, because the problem with masculinity in our country comes from our obsession with toxic masculinity. Had we not focused on toxic masculinity, we would have let men just be masculine without shutting them down and blocking them out of society.
Belittling them.
Yes. But you guys destroyed masculinity. You labeled all masculinity toxic. And now you're sending out Scott Galloway out there, and he's onto it. He's getting it. But if you want to fix masculinity in this country, you have to embrace toxic masculinity. Taking the shirt off, sweating, fighting,
but even
wrestling,
he talks about
chopping
that.
wood, man. Yes, he does. But
In the left, you want to win men? More Scott Galloway, less Harry Sisson.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Right? Please, for the sake of the future of the country.
Yes, man. And then for the right, I hate to say it to you guys, but folks, Fuentes is your Sisson.
Yeah, get rid of him. Get out of here. And same thing with Andrew Tate. We don't need him either.
No. Both sides get to the middle. If we get to the middle, the Galloways,
we're good on the right though because we have Adam Carolla and Joe Rogan.
Right.
I don't care what they say about Joe Rogan. That's not toxic masculinity.
No way.
That's the one kind you need.
I highly recommend to everybody, best 2 hours, 3 hours you could spend listening to a podcast. Check out Joe Rogan's interview with Adam Carolla.
It's incredible.
What I really was blown away with listening to them, I realized Joe Rogan and Adam Carolla, very masculine dudes, but actually believe in very different things.
Very different. Great conversation.
Yes, but they come together in the middle.
On everything they disagreed on.
Everything, man.
No, all I could think about is I can't believe you have to go to two comedians to get this kind of conversation.
Yes.
There's nobody in politics doing, you know what I mean? Why do I have to come to the Joe Rogan podcast for this level of intellectual dialogue in a way, man, that everybody like us can understand?
Oh, and Adam Carolla, a pragmatist carpenter. And Joe Rogan, a flat earther, pot smoking comedian guy and fighter. But I found it fascinating that they both connected over and over again on what we need as a society. And maybe Scott Galloway is there with it too, which is men got to get back to being hands-on, fixing things, fighting, outside, working out,
toughen up,
doing manly activities. I feel so much better about myself when I spend a little time on the weekend getting dirty in the yard, getting my hands in the dirt, chopping some wood, cutting things down, cutting the grass, doing anything, man. It like rejuvenates my soul. And I don't know. Great interview. I highly recommend it to everybody. They really nailed it. My favorite part is where Adam Carolla talked about going to the pound when the cops need to get a dog, the drug dog, and it's not a specific breed. You just pick the dog who has the energy,
the drive,
man. And that connects to everything we talked about today, and all those baristas over at Starbucks going on straight. You have no drive, man.
I know.
You don't have that energy.
Stop smoking weed.
And get off the device. Stop watching porn. Stop getting high. Or I like to get high. Just do it in appropriate times. Maybe not all day long. Yeah, that's right.
Or when you're stuck in traffic if you live in Chicago.
Hey, that's a good way to cut the edge off, right? Maybe not be so angry and get all wrapped up in the road rage.
Still get angry.
I know. Same here. I know. It's getting worse, dude. It's getting worse by the day.
I know.
Well, Mike, I can't believe I'm saying it, but there's no doubt about it. This is the fastest hour in the universe, man.
All right.
Never got Tony Baloney on board, but we'll get him for next week. I think we'll sneak
I'm glad
him
we
in
talked
there.
about the trailer park. That was all
that was the best one, actually. Watch out, folks. The Chinese are invading us quietly and slowly, and someday in a year from now, we're going to turn around and we're just going to be surrounded by the CCP.
That's how they do it, man. You know those Chinese. They know the way of the samurai.
Hiroshima!
They come in quiet. You never hear them.
I'm so sorry. To our future Chinese overlords, please, if you need a podcast, we are your guys. We will do it for Yan.
Or future overlords, the aliens. We were just joking about the one headlight. We don't really believe you have a busted down ship.
Yeah!
Just a joke.
Hey, we're all on board for the intergalactic kegger, my man. Come on, bring it on.
I'll bring the weed.
Folks, thanks for hanging out, enjoying the good times, great oldies. We'll be back next week with more of the same spot, same place, same time. Plenty more to discuss. We'll probably have an update on the one headlight, I'm sure, by that point. Until then, DJ Rodfather playing us out with something groovy, maybe the Beatles?
Little John McCarthy.
All right, John McCarthy. My favorite Beatle, actually. We'll see you next time.
Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that you.
I think we're clapping and beat. Look at that. Yeah.
No, that's the greatest meme.
All the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near, look at him working, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody there. What does he care? All the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely